Now let's get this thing on the road. Is this our first or second game of this year? Second, right?
Second.
Second.
This is our
Okay.
second, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're now naked and
well,
and
I would
aged
like to
several
add,
years.
it's not my fault.
of course it's not.
Well, I would let me put it to you this way: if you hadn't have done what you did, Conrad would have done something else that would have gotten us the same result. So it's all
All I
good.
did was touch a book a little too hard. It's not my fault the book broke.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was a stone tablet, not a book. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Michael, did it have words on it?
Yes. Yes.
That's a book.
That's a book. Okay, fair enough. Right. So, what about the points and how you guys want to spend them?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to look at that.
Gotta put me on the spot right now, huh?
That's probably the good, like, that's the point where it's a good idea to spend your points. Points. Huh. Nice.
Yeah. If I spend anything, it'll be an up to another career.
Okay. So what, the 100 needed to switch from one career to another?
Maybe.
Am I getting this right? Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Uh, I'm trying to find my copy of the core book.
Okay. By the way, what do you guys see above the map?
Black.
It's all black.
Okay, cool. That's well, it's supposed to be. Don't worry,
It's by design.
because I'm playing with the Fog of War thingy, and yeah.
Uh-huh.
And tomorrow I'll be buying the bundle, the 4th edition bundle. We won't probably be using this for some time yet, but yeah, this year almost certainly, hopefully, if everything goes right.
Yeah, there was something weird in one of the one of the Facebook WFRP things, and where a guy was asking something about 4th edition, and like, oh, if you don't have the skill, how do you, I was like, isn't it just half of whatever?
No. It's for example, now using your standard weapon requires a skill.
Okay, weird.
Yeah, you don't like yeah.
Let's see.
Not to mention the all sorts of missile weapons, not just firearms, but bows, crossbows. You also need to have relevant skills to use them.
Okay, so like a specific skill to.
Yeah, well, because in 4th edition, there is a possibility, to play a completely non-combat character. If you want to go full merchant or I don't know, full spy or stuff like that, you can do this.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
My career exits are if one of them falls below what the maximum weapon skill is, do I drop my weapon skill to meet that?
No.
Okay.
No. You just don't advance your weapon skill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my career exits are agitator, explorer, merchant, outlaw chief. I'm not an outlaw, so I don't think I can go there. And politician.
That's kind of ambiguous, though, like the way it means outlaw, I think.
Yeah. Well, outlaw chief is tricky because I think at the end of it you need to have a band of outlaws, and no, your party does not count. It's like your NPC hangers on, your randoms.
We just paid the ultimate price for destruction of property.
Well, yeah, that's true. I suggest explorer.
I was gonna say you're an outlaw
I'm
in
between
Sylvania.
explorer, and the idea of Luther Krantz being a politician is hilarious to me.
Yes, especially since he stinks.
Oh, he'll fit right in.
Well, not during the not during the rallies he wouldn't. Okay, so Cadveo, do you buy anything?
Can I get command? Like from the frustration of last time?
Yeah, sure, no problem, of course, yeah. Why not? Command.
Trying to see if there's anything else I can get.
I might give you small penalties at the beginning when you're going to use it, but only like during the first few rolls. And if, for example, your first roll will be extremely well, then you won't have any penalties. It's mainly because you're an elf and you'll probably be commanding, you're trying to command humans at best. Mostly. And, well, you really haven't, trained in this way, but, like I've said, only a few rolls, and if you roll very well for the first time, then there will be no problems. So that's command for you. What about... are you buying anything else?
Can I master in dodge blow?
Yeah, sure, of course. Okay. So that's what, plus 20% dodge blow?
Plus 10, right?
Actually, that's the thing, when you are running few systems at once, you really forget how they work.
Yeah, because just having it allows you to do it without the half. And then you can master it and it gives you plus 10.
Well, you have... if you don't have it, you test on half. If you have it, you just test on your basic. Then the first level of master is plus 10, second level is plus 20.
Okay, yeah, I've plus 10 then.
Okay, sure. So you have a plus 10 dodge blow. Conrad?
Alright, so...
No, it's Conrad. You are Luther. Conrad is Sean.
Yeah. If I take one more step, this will be the farthest I've ever been from Sterling. I'm gonna.
Okay, so you're taking Explorer, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's Explorer for you. No problem. What about you?
I'm also gonna drop and max out what my intelligence can go to with Explorer. So it'll be two 5-point advances.
Sure, no problem, of course.
Because I hit a book.
That gives you some extra brain power. Okay, no worries. So how much int do you have now?
My base int will be at 55.
Wow, that's actually very high. No joke. That's academic level. Okay, sure. What about you, Conrad?
Okay. So one question, because I apparently always forget between games. We're on the electronic sheet. Are we marking the amount of wounds that we take, or are we marking the amount of wounds that we have left?
I think on your electronic sheet you should have 2 boxes. One is for the total amount of wounds. Yeah, and you don't you don't mess with that. You just No,
I never.
Yeah. Did. And then there's a second box in which you should write down how many you have left. Not how many you have taken, but how many you have left. Because this will be much easier.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm assuming I have 1 left.
Yes, you are all, I think, on 1.
So then that leads to my next question. I have 1 more wound that I could bonus myself. Would that give me 2 for this session?
Yes.
Okay, I will take 1 wound.
It will give you 2 wounds for this session and a total of X.
18.
Yes.
Yeah, 18.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So you are still...
Put on muscle mass in jail.
I'm doing the Kali muscle ramen and... Have you ever seen that video?
And hot dog slices.
Yeah. He's like ramen, tuna fish, hot dogs.
Cooked on a radiator.
Yeah.
This diet sounds horrible if I make...
Michael.
Yeah?
I would like to go ahead and dump the rest of my... another 200 XP. It'll bring me down to 20 XP. If I can advance heal, and if I can advance secret language battle.
You can't advance any of those, unfortunately, because you have to learn them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how that works. Thank you.
Stuff like heal, you have heal already.
I do.
Okay, so let's say that you can buy heal, because you just, you're just getting better at it. Maybe you've read something about it before, but unless you actively study the language, the battle language, you won't be able to buy it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha.
Brian?
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Oh yeah, I just realized Michael doesn't have an accent. That is, he's just doing the character with the southern accent.
Yeah, no, well, buddy, I'm from Indianapolis.
Yeah. All right.
I've only been here for like 16 years. It pops in though.
Yeah.
I think I have like what 3 players from the south of the U.S. because Andy was from south, if I believe.
Yeah.
And once I made this really horrible Alabama joke, I didn't knew about that he was from the south, and I felt kind of bad about this.
Everybody shits on Alabama, though.
Well, yeah,
To be
but
fair.
to be fair, okay. Michael,
You'll never meet somebody from Alabama. I've yet to meet anybody from Alabama, I think. So
Actually, I knew a girl in college from Alabama. Interestingly enough.
okay. Well, here in Poland,
hopefully she's not listening to the recording.
I highly doubt it. I mean, I only had one class with her.
Oh.
So it's not like my best friend or anything. Man, I can't think of what else to buy because I'm assuming that I can't take any other talents or skills right now.
No, talents you can. You don't have to learn. You don't have to learn talents. Talents you can always take if you wish. Skills you have to learn, and only certain skills. Academic skills need to be learned, for example. But dodge blow you can practically always upgrade if you wish.
Yeah. I think I have most.
So if you can take a talent, I suggest you take talent.
I might take rapid reload.
Okay, that's actually a very very good idea. Like no joke. Yeah.
And then technically I can take one more thing, but I think I'll since I'm not prepared.
Okay.
And also like the little I'm just looking at. Well, see, if I did that, what would it give me?
By the way, Michael, how much time do you have today?
Is currently okay. I have 3 hours.
Okay, that's good. Cool.
Basically, I'll have to cut out about 30 minutes before we usually do.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
No problem. That's
I can only use my boss's office for so long.
Sure. Okay, so Sean, you bought rapid reload.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll do, I'll take plus 5% ballistic skill.
Very good idea. Okay. Who's making notes?
It's me.
Okay. There's the document ready.
I'll do it next time. I think I'm ready to do that.
Okay, nice, cool. So, we return to the Thousand Thrones. Last time, things did not exactly went according to plan. Or did they? I'm not the one to judge. But Lydia von Carstein got really, really pissed when Luther Krantz destroyed one of her priceless ancient Nehek tablets.
And save the world.
Yes, you did. Unfortunately, the ire of the vampire baroness and the undead might of her minions proved too much for all of you, especially when the undead thought unleashed her vile magics. And so you've been defeated, sadly. Although you did took down quite a lot of the zombies, and if I recall correctly, Conrad almost slain Lydia herself.
I gave her a hit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's gonna feel that in the morning.
Yes, that's it. You all lost consciousness, and you don't remember really what happened after that. You've drifted in and out of your consciousness. You felt someone or something dragging you along the cold stone floor, ever downwards, probably to the accursed dungeon in which you've left your erstwhile comrade, your erstwhile possessed comrade, Ludwig the Light. But you're not sure. You felt being thrown into a small enclosed space. You've landed on something squishy. You're not sure what it was, but the stench was horrible. You were like, something like that. The pain was just everywhere. It was horrible. You don't know how much time passed. Like, you're not sure. You're not sure what happened to Ahmed. You're not sure if the wedding went according to plan. You just don't know. You wake up to a cold shower. A cold splash of water hitting your faces. Actually, it's not just hitting your faces, it's hitting your entire bodies. You open your eyes and you see the dark Slovenian skies. I mean, it's not night, but it's overcast. It's always overcast here. The weather is just lousy. You are laying you're laying in front of the castle, of the Helford Castle. You look at each other, laying on the ground, your own horrible shape. You're bloodied, dirty, hurting. You're just a mess. There are... you also see 6 knights. Familiar knights to you, Cadwell and Conrad, because they are the Raven Knights of the Shroud. And there's their commander, Sir Rolf van Lenen. He's discussing, he's talking quietly to a man who looks rather priestly, actually. And I would like for you, Conrad, and for you, Cadwell, and only for you, to roll me intelligence tests. Plus 10. And let me see if you've passed. Yeah, Conrad passed. Cadwell, you're just hurting too much. Conrad, you recognize this man. This man is Prelate. Prelate, okay.
Prelate.
In Polish,
Yeah.
it's Prałat. So, yeah, Prelate Jan Richter. He's the leader of the Righteous Hammers of Sigmar, a faction with a very well-funded faction within the Crusade of the Child. You remember that when you were still in the Crusade, there were talks that he was actually an agent of Volkmar, the Grand Theogonist. And they were actually very vocal in defending Grand Theogonist Volkmar from accusations of Chaos Taint after his so-called controversial resurrection during the last incursion. And since the entire crusade was rather anti-Volkmar and anti-Karl Franz, you know that those people were not exactly liked. There are 9 armed ruffians and 5 initiates standing nearby, bearing colorful banners. Some of them also carry trumpets. He speaks with Sir Rolf. You see that 3 of the initiates help you on your feet, guys. You hear Sir Rolf. Yes, we've managed to kill every single one of the undead in the castle. By the way, behind you, you just noticed that the castle is burning. It's burning slowly, but probably the knights set fire inside, and the flames will eventually consume this building.
It's a little impressive that they were able to burn stone.
It will consume the wooden and cloth elements of the building. But yeah, you also see that in front of the castle there were clear signs of battle. The gates have been broken down. You don't know how exactly did the 6 knights broken down the gates, but here we go. Some of them are lightly wounded. Yes, we did manage to kill off the undead monstrosities, says Sir Rolf to the prelate. Unfortunately, the vampire bitch turned into mist and escaped. No matter, says Pratt. Splendid work. The foes of Sigmar will be dealt a crushing blow. Let the child worshippers freeze their ears off in Kislev. There is much work to be done in Aldorf, reuniting the people of the Empire under their rightful Grand Theogonist Volkmar. and you see that he hands high the triptych, the last piece of triptych. Thank you once again, Sir Rolf, for not destroying this priceless artifact. It is a symbol of our faith. Ah, no worries, Pratt, no worries, says Sir Rolf, who has this air of smug superiority around him. After all, our faiths have always been allies, right? Of course, of course. Oh, look, your comrades have regained their consciousness. Well done, friends, says Pratt as he approaches you. As you look at all of this, you also spot one thing, especially you, Cat Vale. You see Ahmed's head being tied to Sir Rolf's saddle. The young boy has this look of utter dread and terror etched on his deathly features. It looks like the head has been severed in one clean cut. I must congratulate you, says Pratt Richter, approaching all of you and, shaking each one of your, shaking the hands of each one of you. Without you, Sir Rolf would not be able to trace this vile creature of the night to her lair and laid siege to it. Thank you. Here's your reward. And he snaps his fingers, and one of the initiates, the fourth one, approaches you and gives you a big bag of money. They've also brought you fresh horses, one for each of you. Not for you, Catveo, because you have a horse already. And tell me, and in your spare time, but I would like for you to do this session, tell me a single item needed for your next career, or this career. And it will be given to you, okay?
Okay.
Bow.
Yeah, sure. No, you don't have to worry about this. You've been given like a sword and a bow, a leather jerkin. All of you have rations for the next 2 weeks of travel. In the saddlebags of your horses. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Some medical equipment like bandages and a few healing poultices.
I can go ahead and tell you what I need.
Okay, tell me now. Sure.
6 maps.
You were given a single map.
Okay, thank you.
How much ammo for the bow?
10 arrows, and it's a long bow.
Long bow. Okay.
What about you, Conrad?
Well, according to this, I need medium armor and any 6 weapons. My sword is gone, right?
Like I've said, you've been given swords and weapons such as that. So, Catveo, if you want something other than bow, tell me, because like the sword and bow are extra. Conrad?
So sword and bow are extra. Well,
yeah.
So is my sword completely gone, or is it?
I think it was. I think you have it, but it was poor quality. Same with Luther.
Yeah.
So you won't be given new one, just so
actually,
you know. Yeah.
You told me to get rid of my gear on the last session.
Yes.
I'm not sure if the other guy did.
You don't have your weapons and armor, Catveo, unfortunately.
Do I still have my cloak?
Yeah, you have, but they are also in a very, very bad condition.
Okay.
Yeah, what I remember about it, and I'll look at the notes again. Oops, wrong one. Is that all of my stuff was destroyed except for my sword.
Okay.
But let me...
Okay. No. You don't have your stuff on your head. You don't have armor on your head. Same with Luther. But other than that, I think you have everything.
Oh, really? Because the when she gave me the second blast, it was just I was butt naked. Everything was
okay. So in that case,
I thought we all lost our armor.
Okay, so in that case,
my armor was all reduced to poor. Yeah, I lost my head armor.
Okay,
yeah, so I think Luther fared the best, but still not good. So let me just see. Okay, so what I got here is that everything but my enchanted sword is destroyed.
So,
Cadvale, um, Cadvale is aged 4 years, but his weapons have been turned into dust. Luther's armor is degraded, but he only ages 1 year. And I think
I
there
still have
might.
one.
Let me go back and see. Okay, so let's see.
okay, so in
Okay,
that,
well, I just
yeah,
made a note. Let me find, because in the notes that I put up there, I glossed over it a little bit what specifically happened, but I have the where did I put it? Give me 1 second, because I have it written down and on paper, and I left it on a table downstairs. I'll be right back,
okay,
because this is important.
yeah, sure. Okay, Cadvale, do you want to do anything else?
I don't think so for right now.
Okay.
I want to go mourn Ahmed though. Like I'm not really focused on what Lord Rove is saying or anything. I'm just kind of focused on the severed head and just really sad, profound sadness.
Well, like I've said, you see that this boy died very badly. He probably was terrified in his final moments. You also see that the Raven Knights have their visors down, so you don't see their faces. But you see that Serov has this look of this sadistic joy. Like, he looks around and he's just pleased with what with what he did, with the destruction. You also probably guess that the village and probably the Strigani there, yeah, they're probably not in the
They were
best.
all murdered.
Well, maybe not all murdered, but you guess that there probably were casualties. I mean, there are, after all, only 6 knights here, but given what you've heard about Serov in the Abbey, that he's a very headstrong and brutal man, he was almost certainly not negotiating with them.
What is this a map of?
What? This is a map of the eastern part of the empire.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so on page 10.
Or actually, sorry, Michael, you know what? If you want, it can be map of almost anything. You decide.
I would like a map of Troll Country, if possible.
Okay, sure thing. It is. So, Sean, when you are searching, let me put it this way. For those of you who don't have anything, like your clothes, like your armor and weapons are gone, each of you gains a leather jerkin, a leather skull cap, a single hand weapon of your choice, tell me which, and in case of Cadvale, long bow with 10 arrows. Luther, you have your weapons and armor, you don't get anything, unfortunately.
Right. All I have here is that his armor, his armor went down 1 quality.
Yeah, my armor's poor, and I lost my head armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your weapons? Your weapons are...
My mace and my dagger are poor quality.
Okay, that sounds
my
right.
halberd is still in the inn.
Okay.
Right. And all of Cadvale's weapons were destroyed,
yes.
And then everything except my sword was turned into powder.
Yeah, so you also get poor quality clothes. By the way, the clothes are poor quality. Leather jerkin, leather cap, and that's it. Oh, and of course, like some kind of slingback or backpack, also very basic stuff like that. You do, like I said before, each of you has a horse with saddlebags, with rations for 2 weeks and water. You have like X amount of bandages, let's say reasonable amount of bandages. I'm not going to give you exact details. And a few, let me quickly see, let me roll. A few 9 healing poultices. These are not healing draughts. These are the things that you drink before sleeping.
Each of us, or
total?
Okay. So, just put them even.
3 each. Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 each. By the way, you know what? I am going to roll for the bandages because, why the fuck not? 4.
Okay. So 9 healing poultice and 4 bandages.
Yes. Yes.
And then I'm assuming so. So I'm assuming I still have my sword.
Yes, yes. By the way, all of your gear from the inn has been brought here.
Okay.
Sir Rolf is like, the abbot and Lord Voss will both be pleased. I've managed to slay the son of Nagash with my bare hands, he says, while pointing at the severed head of the teenage boy. Yes, yes, says Pratt. You've done the Empire a great service, Sir Rolf. We must destroy the bloodlines of the of these monsters whenever we find them. Yes. Will you take your men with you? No, says Sir Rolf, and he looks at each of you with this rather, with this look of maybe not contempt, but he doesn't think too highly of you. They've done their purpose. They can find their way to the abbey if they wish. Yes, yes. You've been paid, friends, says Pratt. In the name of Grand Theogonist, I thank you. Now I must return to Aldorf with my men. Lord Volkmar will be most pleased, he says. And with that, he mounts his horse. The initiates blast the trumpets. Bear the flags high, the banners high. And Pratt and his men leave the premises of the Castle Helford. Sir Rolf just, gives you one last look. He also gets on his horse, says something, "May more protect your souls," and he and his 5 knights depart. Ahmed's severed head still leaving a faint trail of blood drops as they ride away rather. You are left alone on the courtyard. Only now you see the bodies of few living servants of Lydia laying nearby, as well as quite a few bodies of zombies being mercilessly hacked to pieces or stuck with many arrows. You are alone.
Well, shit.
I drop to my knees.
Okay.
Just distraught.
By the way, each of you see that you are all older men now. Maybe not in case of Cat Vale, because he's an elf, so you don't really know. But both Conrad and Luther, you look visibly older, and you feel older. By the way.
My God, it's like a whole year has passed.
Conrad doesn't know what to say. He's like, fuck.
I feel like picking up golf, maybe.
Yeah. getting a colonoscopy.
My back hurts.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So if we just have jerkins, that means we have nothing on our arms and legs, right?
No. Like I said, you have poor quality clothing. Oh, you mean armor? No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Right.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
So-
you each, I mean, not Luther, because I think you have your gear. So, Catvale and Conrad, you each have a blanket, a woolen blanket, and some sort of very short, very rough cape.
Wow. So leather just gives you one? That sucks.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, wooden eating utensils and a small bowl, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's only leather, basic leather, nothing more.
It's body and arms.
No, it's only
Or just
body.
body?
It's only body.
And then you also have a leather skull cap.
Yeah.
So you would have body and head. That's it.
And in the large, purse, you have a total of 100 gold crowns.
So,
What? 100 gold
so how
crowns. Yeah, that's.
obviously I did the most.
We'll figure out how to divide it up. Don't worry. Tell you what, we'll give you what is it? We each get 33 and a third.
Yeah,
You
something like that.
you can have 34, and we'll each get 33. How's that?
I recognize that you are handing me that extra gold piece because you do indeed know that I did the most here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
All right.
What next?
Yes. What? Where to next, boys?
Remember what the prelate said?
They're going to Kislev.
Splendid work, my good friends. The foes of Sigmar will be dealt a crushing blow. Let the child worshippers freeze their ears off in Kislev. There is much work to be done in Outdorf, reuniting the people of the Empire under the rightful Grand Theogonist Volkmar. Yes.
Sounds like it's time to go to Tilia and retire. No.
Probably, yeah. That's probably a good idea.
Oh, shit. Well, so we're in Helfer. I need to look at the map for a second, see where the fuck we are. Why didn't you get a map of
Yeah, that's
where we actually are?
It's your whole country. That's why I was laughing.
I want the map of Lustria because it's very useful. You are here.
Yes. All right. Well.
And Kislev is
2 weeks
here.
Yeah, Kislev is there, and we. Well, yeah, I don't know what the roads are, where the major paths are. I mean, obviously we're
Let me tell you which roads are. Common knowledge Empire rows for everyone, but Cadvale has -10, Conrad has basic, Luther has +10.
And I just have to figure out.
Oh, by the way, sorry. And besides that, no, before you roll this test, Conrad and Cadvale roll me intelligence tests, both of you. Only you two.
Okay.
I just have to scroll to my intelligence.
Oh.
I probably should have raised my intelligence. Oh, but
Wow.
today.
I have a really good brain today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are still shocked by the sight of Ahmed being dead.
Yeah.
Conrad, you recall that Karl, when you were still in the Crusade, Karl had spoken of Kislev often.
Mm.
And now, all of you roll me the aforementioned test. Cadvale -10, Conrad basic, Luther +10, common knowledge Empire.
And I believe we also remember that those other vampires were from Kislev.
Were from Kislev?
Oh, actually, no. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was people who were dead.
Okay. Luther failed. Okay. Yeah.
I'm new to this.
Damn! What the hell?
Wow. Conrad is just on fire. Okay, Conrad. Since 2 is practically, if you would be playing Call of Cthulhu now, you would have a mark on your skills. You know that there are few routes towards Kislev. Actually, there's actually a whole host of established roads and waterways leading into the frozen Northlands, and you merely have to follow them or book passage on a riverboat to reach Kislev without much trouble. There is, for example, there's, for example, the road through Behafen, Ostermark's beleaguered capital, since Ostermark is right next to Kislev, and Behafen was, you remember, it was a primary trade center. That's probably a good idea. Caravans stop regularly there, bound for Kislev. There's the Deadwood, which is forming the southern border of Ostermark. It is a reputedly haunted forest, and the reason for its sinister reputation is that somewhere in its depths lie the ruins of Mordheim, a city so corrupted, so foul, Sigmar shattered it on the anvil of the earth. You recall stories about Deadwood being completely uninhabitable, and nothing, not even the lowliest vermin, can live there long. There are Erie Downs. They lie. They are scarcely populated and lie on the borders of Sylvania. They're kind of lowlands, and supposedly they were the site of a great battle between the vampire counts and the Empire. It was here the vampires turned the tide, precipitating their invasion into Sigmar's lands at the start of the Empire's 21st century. And finally, you seem to recall that there's also the Karak Kadrin, the so-called Slayer's Keep, in the World's Edge Mountains, to the east. It is supposedly one of the safest places in the World's Edge Mountains because of the large amount of crazy dwarves who regularly kill everything around it. So there are no trolls, no orcs, no ogres, nothing. And caravans are also traveling through this place. So these are your options.
Where was the place where we could catch the riverboat? Was that Siegfriedhof or Krugenheim?
Well, I mean, riverboat that wouldn't be so easy. Look at the Empire map.
Right, it would take us months because we essentially have to sail all the way down to Altdorf and then tack back upriver.
Over the Talabek to the north, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be useful for us to do that.
In all honesty, Conrad, as you are a military man and a strategist, your best bet would probably to travel through the Erie Downs between Waldenhof and Essen, through Ostermark, over Talabek and into Kislev. World's Edge Mountains are very dangerous, and before you would reach Karakadrin, there's a big chance that you would probably be dead.
Right.
Deadwood is generally a bad idea, and Mordheim is basically one of the worst. It's one of the worst tales that you could tell in the old world. It's like a place that parents scare their children with.
Right. So it looks to me like essentially, if we're just kind of thinking about it, it would be we'd go to Waldenhof, cross the river, go across the Erie Downs to Essen, then to Heffingen, and then to Beckhofen and cross into Kislev.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
The problem is, of course, that you don't have a map of this region, and I don't think that any of you have navigation. But actually, sorry, navigation. I think Cadwell has navigation, but navigation without map, it's tricky. But there are of course good things. Mainly that there will probably be many villages along, like what's the word? During your travels, even in the destroyed province of Ostermark, because Ostermark has suffered harshly during the invasion, there will probably be enough communities for you to learn about your traveling paths, so to speak.
So what do we actually know in character for right now? We need to get to Kislev, basically.
Yes. Luther, no. Troll Country is a part of Kislev. Actually, it's not even a part of Kislev. It's a stretch of cursed land which lies on the north. Actually, I have the map here.
North Ostland?
No, it's northeast of Kislev. It's right next to the wastes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's a cursed place. Kislevites don't live there, and it's infested with monsters. It's like the courtyard to the northern wastes, essentially.
Well, boys, I would argue that this is still a useful map.
You have a map of Troll Country. I mean, yeah. Yeah, so sorry, because I've interrupted someone saying this to Michael. Go ahead.
Was it you, Cadwell?
I don't remember what I was saying. I think I was basically saying we pretty much know we have to go north to Kislev. We don't know the details, right?
Yeah, well, I think so Helford is near the river, right? If I recall correctly.
Yes, near River Hell, of course.
Uh-huh.
That said, do you want to return there? That's the good question. Because from what you saw, like when you look at the knights, there's a big chance that they either massacred everyone there or put up a large fight. If you return there, people might be angry.
Well, okay. Can we? So the other thing is that, so generally what I want to do is I just want to if I have a general idea that if I go upriver, I will find another town that isn't going to kill me.
Yes, yes.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the river, and I want to go against the flow of water, essentially in the direction of, because I can see this map of Waldenhof.
Yeah.
That's Conrad's plan.
Okay.
And then from there, figure out how to get through the Erie Downs and to Beckhofen.
Do you share this plan with the others?
Yes, I do.
That's
what I think we should do.
What do the others say about this plan?
Conrad, I'm fine with this plan. I'd still like to go back by the inn to grab my things.
You have your things here, as I've mentioned before. They've brought your things from the inn.
Oh, okay. In that case, fuck it, we're good.
This also tells you a lot, by the way, that you probably should not return, because perhaps the inn is no longer there. The Raven Knights are crusaders, so to speak, against, in opposition to the undead and their sympathizers. You don't have to connect the dots too hard.
That guy was a jerk anyway.
Yeah, he was a fucking he was a fucking asshole. But
Conrad,
he was a very well armed fucking asshole, I might add.
Conrad, is it possible that you could mark on the map what your directional plan is?
No, he can't, because you don't have a map.
Okay, well, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if Conrad even can write or read.
No, remember, Conrad can, because we forced him to.
Oh, yeah,
Been able to continue with the adventure with knowing how to read.
Thank you. I remember that now. Okay.
I was forced to learn how to read.
Need to hunt down a boat?
No, because we got these horses. We're just following along the river gives us a path, if you will, a direction to go.
Yeah. So...
And protection on one side, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
That said, Luther and Conrad, you guys know, because you're from actually Conrad is from a destroyed northern province, that while a river does give you protection, after the storm, pirate attacks and river banditry is in full swing right now. And the river lanes are absolutely not safe. Not that the land lanes are too safe as well, but rivers, unless you travel in a very, in a large group on a very well, defendable ship, it's probably not a good idea. Especially when you are traveling north.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, the general idea is just to be able to know where the river is in relation to us. And so I just have to be able to see it. I don't have to be able to be next to it. Does that make sense?
Of course. And you do locate the river without any problems.
Okay.
You guys leave Helford behind, unless you want to do something. But by the time you leave, you can see that the interior is already burning merrily. There were, after all, quite a few pieces of wooden furniture there. By the way, Catvale didn't say if he's okay with the plan or not, but I assume that you are.
I feel nothing but despair in the absence of my glade, so I think I'll help you gentlemen get to the next town, and then Janelle and I will depart ways.
Ooh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Is it time for a new character?
Out of character, no. I actually, he just needs to find a reason.
Okay.
To stay with you guys, and he probably will, very soon. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But, right now, he's... And that was my, doom, so...
Okay, that's good. I like Adveo a lot, so I'm happy not to see him go.
Yeah, he just needs to find, motivation for himself because he feels like he's
Yeah.
forsaken by Isha and he's screwed up by letting the kid die. And
Okay, yeah. So it's like listening to Pierce the Veil, My Chemical Romance, stuff like that. Okay. Dressing in black, eyeliner, stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. You move north. You travel north, and even though you have horses, this is not an easy or a pleasant travel. After leaving Helford behind, the weather got worse. Even though it's the middle of spring right now, honestly, the weather is lousy. It's windy. It's cold. It rains almost constantly. Sylvania is. I mean, you've left Sylvania rather quickly, but even so, this province is just depressing. Remind me, Conrad, you were traveling like between Woudenhof and Essen, yeah, stuff like that, along the Erie Downs into Ostermark.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually, you've reached the destroyed province of Ostermark, which saw great devastation at the hands of the forces of the archenemy, the marauders from the north. Just destroyed and burned everything in their path. Empty, destroyed hamlets, burned villages, bodies hanging from the few trees, because Ostermark is mainly an open province. If you have the Gitzman's map, it's actually very well shown there. There are very few forests in Ostermark. I mean, even on this map here. But whole fields have been torched, burned to the ground. Nothing will ever probably grow here anymore, since many of the invaders salted the earth after they've burned it, in an act of cruel spite. So yeah, that's it. Along the way, you pass through a number of tiny settlements, and you can roam me. How many weeks will it take for you to reach like the Talabek River, which is near Beckhaven here?
Good question.
Probably 2, right?
Like 2 weeks, something like that. I think probably using a horse.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, so let's say 2 weeks. I think.
Okay, because it took us about a week to get from Siegfriedhof to Helfurt. So.
Yeah, but that was that was something different. Yeah, that's.
Well, I think 2 of us were on foot. So.
Okay, so let's say 2 of you were on foot. Now you have horses. You are traveling over the open ground mostly. Any signs of danger, you probably wisely just avoided. Like if you saw something fishy on the horizon, you just gave it a wide berth. So let's say 2 weeks for simplicity's sake. So when you were staying in the tiny hamlets, I don't know if you were spending any money, if you were sleeping, outside or in the or inside. It's up to you guys. Honestly,
I don't know about you guys. I think we should sleep inside.
That's the only way we're gonna get health back, right?
Yeah.
I think we should sleep inside, but I don't want to give away that we have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Modest spending. Use only your coppers and silver.
Okay,
all we have is gold, but.
Yeah, but since you are traveling north, you are staying inside. Are you eating also inside, or are you eating your rations? Remember that if you eat rations, after 2 weeks on rations, you will go nuts.
I think we should eat food. The rations are for when we can't find a place to stay and eat. That's what Conrad's MO is anyway. He will always eat in food if he can get it.
Okay. What about the rest of you? The rations, by the way, are very basic. I mean, they will fulfill you, but they are for old world Russians, these are like the the bare possible plan, the basic plan.
Like hard sausage and hardtack.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like not even sausage, hard jerky and hardtack, and that's it. No fruit, no dry fruit, no dry vegetables, nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Conrad plan here.
Okay. Katveo, what about you?
I'm doing the same. I'm more withdrawn though. Like I'm not as social in the tavern as I was before.
Okay. You've quickly.
I thought you eat leaves.
The hood is up.
Yeah.
Brooding by the fireplace.
You've quickly discovered that the further north you went, the more desperate and the more desperate people got, the more like ravaged the countryside got also. Which honestly, for you, Conrad, and you, Katveo, you would think that it should be quite normal because you after all you did travel south from Wolfenburg, but even so, returning here is probably is probably what's actually giving you these sour thoughts. People are paranoid and unfriendly. The food portions are small, and the accommodations at the inns are very basic. And even so, the prices are actually very high. Remember that when you were traveling south, you had a coach, you had a large amount of money that you were able to spend, but now with 100 crowns divided between three of you, you've spent 15 crowns.
Okay.
To the like when you've reached this point here, the haven.
Okay.
Is that
15 each?
Sorry, one more time, Brian. Sorry.
Is that 15 each?
No, total.
Okay, so 5.
Yeah.
So 5
Yeah.
each. Yeah.
It's still a lot, by the way. It's still a lot.
No, that's a lot. But
And you were asking for directions, in the small settlements that you were traveling through. So each of you, if you wish, but tell me now, will first make me a very hard gossip test for the first week, and for the second week, -20 gossip test. Because people don't really want to talk with strangers.
I'll take a shot at it.
Okay, roll me, Luther.
I think my country bumpkin articulation will soothe some minds here.
Sure.
can we all do it?
Yes,
or-
I just want to ask you. I just want to ask. Whoa, which one of you does it? Okay. Conrad is on
I don't
fire.
know what's going on today.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
They tell you exactly where Carl is.
Yeah. What about you, Katveo? Do you roll or not?
I'm not talking to anybody that's not with my immediate group.
Okay.
I should
now.
have been a politician.
I'm pouting.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have been a politician. That is correct.
Okay. So, since these rolls are practically the best that they can be, I am going to give you a few snippets of information. Like Conrad and Luther, you've asked your questions. You've probably bought a few beers, to loosen some tongue, stuff like that. The crusade? I ain't heard of no crusade. That was like in the first village. Oh, sure, the Crusade of the Child. I've heard of them. Troublesome lot, I reckon, what with the Grand Fiogon is calling for Templars all over the Empire to stamp them out. Sure, I've heard of the Crusade of the Child. They were wiped out in Talheim. Mutants and beastmen, I hear. I've heard of the Crusade of the Child. They were wiped out near Wolfenburg. The Grand Fiogonists' men did the work. Killed them to the men. Nah, the Grand Fiogonists had nothing to do with it. Oh, I'm sure old Volkmar would have loved to wipe them out. But he didn't. The way I heard it, they turned on each other, though I can't say why. They turned on each other because the boy was killed. They turned on each other because the boy ascended. They turned on each other because the boy disappeared. Yeah, but he returned, he did. He took what was left, the faithful, he called them, and headed for Kislev. I lost my son to that mob. He said he was heading for Kislev, some place called the Cracks of Shargan. Now, does any of you have common knowledge Kislev?
No, but I need to learn Kislevite for this career.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm on the lookout to learn the language.
I feel like I think Otto had it.
Yeah, Otto probably had it because he was from north. From north. Yeah. I mean, your Conrad is also from north, honestly, but yeah. Luther, you don't have common knowledge.
I don't. Okay. I don't, and I'm also gonna have to learn it because I gotta learn another language.
So you guys guess that you probably have to learn about the cracks when you either approach the border of Kislev, or when you actually cross into this strange foreign northern land. But what you've learned so far paints a grim picture. And Conrad and Katveo, you guess what happened, because let's face it, Luther might not know it, but you guess that you followed the wrong boy, simply put. At some point, instead of Karl, you began to follow Ahmed. Maybe Karl returned earlier, maybe something happened to him. But you were with the crusade long enough to know how these people, this desperate, religious, angry, hysterical people worked. When Karl once again disappeared, they almost certainly turned on each other. And you have this sinking suspicion that probably they've butchered, each other with abandon, perhaps even killing the inner circle, who knows. After all, they would probably be the first to blame for the child's disappearance. Then, when Karl returned, he gathered those who remained and led them north to Kislev, to whatever awaits them there. By this point, Katveo and Conrad, you don't even feel, loyalty to the boy. Not to mention the unquestioned love that I mentioned before. But you also know that this feeling, it wasn't very natural, so to speak. Actually, Conrad, it kind of reminded you of the power that Lydia had over you when she looked at you.
Okay.
You probably would also question yourselves if you really want to go there. After all, why do you want to go there? Why do you want to follow the boy? Especially you, Luther. I mean, you are traveling with them because why? And this is a very dangerous question for me as a game master, because if you guys would probably, you guys at this point can just say, fuck it, we have no stakes in this. We don't have to go there. But this is a realistic... I am gunning for realism in these games, as funny as that may sound. So
that's why I said, I'm, the character plans to part ways, but that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? He's going to get sucked in somehow.
We're sitting in one of these settlements. Taverns, right?
Yeah, you're sitting in a settlement. Let me quickly see, because I actually have Gitzmans open. You're sitting in a small town of Kolchov when you are discussing this. It's in the middle of the... actually, not in the middle of Ostermark, but I think it's on the border. It's like on this. Yeah, it's in Ostermark. Yeah, fuck it. It's in Ostermark. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Luther moves his chair over by the hearth and takes a ember out to light his pipe and sits there for a second token and turns back and just says, Why should I stay with y'all?
Because you want revenge on that vampire bitch.
Well, she's down south, right?
Well, We think she went north. I'll tell you what. Thinking back on it, when she tried to control me in the castle, it reminded me of how I had no will of my own around Carl. I think there's something going on here with these vampire scum.
Is Carl a vampire?
I'm not totally certain, but it's looking more and more like it.
I kind of perked up when he said that.
Okay.
I'm just kind of just sitting by the fire, pondering what you just said.
So, all things aside, yes, we'd all like to kill this bitch that did us in the castle, but you're saying there's a vampire leading people under the guise of a holy Sigmarite crusade?
I'm wondering. I think we also owe it to Achmet to.
I don't know shit to Ahmed. I'm asking you if there is a dead boy leading people under the guise of being a holy Sigmarite.
Not a holy Sigmarite, but Sigmar reborn.
Yeah, Sigmar himself. I am beginning to suspect that he is an abomination.
I'm a devout Talite. I'm a devout man of Tal. But even that, these are all shared gods. This is a pantheon of gods. And even that is screaming straight up fucking blasphemy.
Exactly.
I'll stick around just to see this kid for myself, judge him for myself, whether this boy is actually a reborn god or just some wandering undead piece of shit that we need to put back in the ground.
Well said.
Cadveo?
I must sing a song of my pilgrimage to my Kithban when I return. And I don't like the ending I currently have. Perhaps I'll stay with you and see this through.
Like I was trying to say, I think that to give Achmet peace in the Gardens of Moor, we need to find out who did all this to him. He lost his father. He lost his own life. He was sold by his people.
I look down and nod when you say that.
Yeah, that's actually quite depressing when you think about it. The kid's life, the kid's destiny was never decided by him. It was decided by the blood of the accursed monster that he had in his veins, if that was even true. The vampire wanted to do something horrible to him. His own people, sold him to her, and in the end, he met his end. In the end, he met his fate at the end of a Morite sword. Even for old world and its many horrors and and depressing realities, this one is incredibly sad.
This won't be a song of tragedy. This will be a song of vengeance. And Lydia von Carstein must die.
Amen to that.
Cadville, are you about to break out into a song?
No, I'm still
Hello,
writing
my
it in my
baby.
head. I got the choreographed parts to get in.
Hold up, Barkeep, I'm going to need a lot more hot beer.
God,
We don't sell no hot beer here, he
Well,
says.
just give me normal beer. I'll go heat it up myself.
Still under scum. Something like that.
I'll hold it in my crotch.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So on and on you travel. Past Erie Downs. Sorry. Actually, the Erie Downs. Past Erie Downs. Past the Cadrin Road, eventually reaching the lower Talabek. Fortunately, you had Luther, who was quite proficient in healing, and so along the way, you guys are fully healed. Because
Sweet.
good rest,
Yay!
semi-good rest, very semi-good food, and Luther's skills proved to be enough. But that means that 2 of your bandages are now gone.
Okay.
Of the 4. And 3 of the poultices.
Okay.
But you are all on full heal. Eventually, you once again enter the boundless forests of the Empire, this time belonging to the so-called Griffin's Wood, which is here. And now it's time for something completely different.
Can you ping it on the map again real quick?
Yep.
Oh,
Actually,
I see.
I've drawn the new arrow thingy. So yeah, it's here.
Yeah.
This because this river is the lower Talabek.
Okay.
Eventually, as you travel the roads of these parts of the Empire, the roads here are muddy, pitted, and worn beyond their intended use. You guess that if you travel by wheeled coach, it would be very slow and cumbersome, but horse and foot travel is only slightly inconvenient. Debris litters the road, usually in the form of old burned-out campsites, broken wheels, and occasionally a piece of worn-out equipment. Shallow graves dot the fringes of the roadway of those who fell during the journey. The camp followers have long since looted most of the valuables, but if you would probably, partake in some kind of grave robbing, you would almost certainly, find something. You guess that this road saw heavy usage during the war, and the scars are still fresh. For the most part, travel is uneventful, but you see that, for example, scavenger birds can occasionally be seen, but there is almost no wildlife other than that. It has long since been run off. Yeah. Wait a second. I just need to quickly check one thing, and we are back. Okay. A full mile ahead, one day, you see, as you ride on your horses, you see a diminutive figure lasting about with a small hand cart on the road. Do you approach it? Well,
Yes.
he is on your path, so to speak.
Yeah.
You see that as you approach it, it is clear that the figure is a halfling, and he is having a most difficult time pushing his hand cart. You see that his cart is labeled Pie King. Oh, he says as he looks at you. Oh, he drops to his knees and looks, puts his hands before him in a gesture of begging. Esmeralda, have mercy. Why did I choose to go north? Please, I humbly beg, once as obviously mighty and virtuous as yourself, to aid a halfling in his hour of need. You see that he's just unable to push this cart by himself. The conditions on the road are actually, well, you're not surprised. They are very tough. My name is Donald Donwurst, but I'm called Don.
Don. Got it.
Yes, yes, my nerd. Will you help me? You sorry? I will offer you free food for as long as I will travel with you. If you help me, I am traveling to Dunkelbild. It is a small village not far from here, actually. And from there, I will try to catch ferry to Talheim, and from Talheim to Altdorf. Actually, roll all of you. I mean, I don't remember if you have Common Knowledge Empire, Catvale, or not.
I do.
So all of you roll Common Knowledge Empire.
There it is. Boink.
Okay, not this time. I see. Well, Luther passed.
Oh, that was my worst.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not.
Cadvale and Luther, you've actually, funnily enough, you've heard about this village. It is a logging village, slightly to the northeast, which uses the lower Talabek to transport logs to Talheim. There is a ferry supposedly there. And so you guess that it could indeed be used as means of transportation to, well, even to Aldorf itself. What do you say, good sirs? Says the halfling.
I'll get down off my horse and I knock an arrow with my bow and I just stand there.
Yeah,
He's terrified and runs behind the cart.
Hold on there, Don. Don't worry about our friend here. He is just scanning the area for anyone who might wish to do us ill.
I see. You see that this, by the way, this halfling, he only has a dagger on him and a sling. He has, of course, a purse. He's like 3'10", like 3 apostrophe 10 to apostrophes. I don't know what this means because his frame is portly. Yeah, his frame is portly and muddy. Brown hair covers his head like a mop. He wears an apron, and you see that his hands are caked with flour and cooking spices, despite the fact that he probably is pushing this cart for some time now.
Hey, Don.
Yes?
You mentioned you're a cook. I've met a halfling cook before. How long have you been in the trade?
Most of my life, good sir. As a halfling, I love to eat, but I also love to cook.
And yes, your people are good at it. Boys, this is kind of a hard one to pass up.
Oh yeah, well no, Conrad's already off his horse and trying to unstick his cart.
Okay. Yeah, as you approach the cart, by the way, you can smell the pies, and they smell so good. Like the spices, the meats. Even on this decrepit, worn-torn road, you know that this cart probably has the best food in miles.
Now, Conrad,
yes.
we could tie his cart off to the horse.
Well, let's get it unstuck first, and then we can do that. Yes.
Right,
I'm already helping by standing guard.
I'm down to help him unstick the cart.
Okay, you do that, and you do this without any problems. He, of course, thanks you profoundly.
Yeah, both.
Thank you. And he walks along with you. He opened the cart at some point, produced a large pie, cut it in a few slices with a big kitchen knife. You see that he didn't use his dagger, and handed each of you a very big piece of meat pie with delicious spices. Given the fact that for the last few days, the portions at the inns you were eating in were, let's say, basically they were half of what you are used to normally.
Mm-hmm.
AKA a U.S. cup of soup.
Yeah, so you just devoured the meat pie, and it is certainly it is probably the best one that you had in your entire lives.
Yeah.
He tells you the road leading to Dunkelboot is only 3 miles ahead, and once we reach it, it will become much easier. But you also see that he's not exactly wary of you, but he's eyeing your weapons, with clear fright. This halfling is no fighter at all, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Worry not, little man. We mean you no harm.
Thank you. I I'm not accustomed to violence. I'm a cook, you see. I'm not a fighter. But thank you very much for your help, and you can expect this kind of eating every day that we'll be traveling together. Yes. Eventually, yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say that suits me just fine. That was the best pie I ever had.
Oh, thank you. It's I've made quite a lot of pies. They are, of course, made according to to my family recipe. Yes, they are. They are my clan specialty. Thank you, sir. I'm very glad that you that you like this pie. Yes. And with that,
Do you really live in holes in the ground?
that's probably a bit too much. Like, our homes are partway above ground, partway below ground, sir. For protection, you see. We are, after all, neighbors with, and he said this in a grim tone, Sylvania, and the dead do not rest easy there. Yes.
I'm like genuinely curious about halflings. If you can't tell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trolling.
Yeah. So that's that.
I mean, it also shares a border with Sterling.
Oh yes, that's true. Are you a Stirlander, sir?
No. That throws me off a bit. You seriously telling me you couldn't tell who or where I'm from just because my accent?
No, sir. I've been mostly living in the mood for most of my life. I've just heard that Stirlanders, they generally don't like us because, according to some ancient history, when the Mood became independent province, supposedly we took your fertile lands, I think. But
you took the best lands.
oh, well, it ain't my fault. Yes, yes. I hope that you don't hold it against me.
Yes,
Michael,
it's not his fault, Luther.
Michael, is there a skill? Is empathy a skill or?
No, you
charm?
No, I mean, you want to see if he's lying?
I want to see if he's trying to conceal something.
Intelligence. Unfortunately it's not Call of Cthulhu. Normally you would roll psychology. It's for this kind of thing. It's either intelligence or fellowship.
Well, no, he's telling the truth.
You have a feeling that he is telling the truth. Yeah. So
I believe everything you say.
yeah.
You're so adorable.
You eventually reached the road leading to Dunkelbild, and this road is in much better condition than the one that you were traveling on. Don Don told you, because he likes to be called Don Don. He said that to you. He told you that Dunkelbild, that it will take probably one full day of travel to reach Dunkelbild.
Maybe for him.
No, I'm. Well, yeah, but I mean, he wants to travel with you, so for now, so to speak. Because even though you are heavily armed, he still feels safer with you, and he asks if you'd be so kind as to, not escort him, but travel with him to Dunkelbild. He, of course, offers pies.
How is that not escorting? That's escorting.
Yeah. So, are you down with that?
Yeah, Conrad wants to keep the pie train rolling.
Okay. Catvale?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like a little guy.
It's been many a year since Luther's had a good pie.
Okay. Yeah. Eating pie. Sure. Okay, so that's what you do. You travel ever northward, and eventually you camp for the night on the side of the road. Of course, you've lit up a huge fire, Don Don is, warming up some pies for you. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have anything to drink, like anything, special to drink, so to speak. But you do have your thin beer, thin Russian beer. Russians beer, sorry. Like not Russians.
Yeah.
And a few wineskins worth of water. You hear the howls of wolves in the distance. You haven't heard them for some time, but they are here now.
Well, we got to keep the fire going all through the night at least.
Which one of you has animal care?
I do.
Think I do.
So please tell me, and then I would like for those of you who have to test it on a +10.
On a +10?
Yes. That's a botch. No, that's a pass. Sorry, that's a pass.
I bumped it to +20 to make the roll because I already have it at a +10.
So you didn't pass.
I'll use a luck.
Okay.
I want to pass this.
Sorry, Luther, you didn't pass or you passed?
I passed.
You passed, okay. Because if you wouldn't pass, that would be a botch. That would be very bad. Both of you passed. And you know one thing. That these are not wolves, but they are likely wild dogs.
Little fire's not going to keep these away. And we'd be doing a damn good service to other travelers on the road if we killed them.
Cadveo, you also know that, when it comes to wild dogs, they are not honorable animals like wolves. They are usually more feral, more merciless.
They kill for sport.
Yep. By the way, when Don Don hears the sounds, you see that he is visibly very afraid. So, do you take watches? Of course.
Nah.
Okay.
Yes, we
Okay.
take watches. So who wants first watch?
I get out my MIP show and
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter who takes first watch. And I know that you take watches. I guess that you took watches when you were traveling here, from Helford. But in the night, those of you who held watch, you've heard the sound of brush being disturbed in the distance, and some of you thought, but maybe you were mistaken, that you saw a glint of eyes in the darkness. But nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. Now, basically 2 minutes break, bathroom break, okay?
Sounds good.
We are right back, okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. What's up?
Okay, I'll just see if anybody's back.
Yeah, I think you and I might be the only ones back
Hey,
at.
sorry about that.
No, you're good.
I have to go through clean room policy every time I leave the building, and we don't have a bathroom in this building, so hooray!
Man,
So I have to de-gown and then re-gown.
wow. Oh. What was I doing here? Oh yeah. So hopefully we won't be have our faces eaten off by wild dogs.
Not in the game.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't think we should go looking for it, but I think we should be on guard if they come looking for us.
Yeah.
And, like, I think the fire will still help, you know what I mean? Like, if it comes down to it, just, like, grab a stick out of the fire and start swinging it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so I got to build one of the most infuriating kits I've had to build since the old metal dwarf gyrocopter.
Sounds good.
I remember.
The Stormcast Eternal Raptors, the Aetherwing, the bird things that come with them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a few of those.
Points are ass.
They break so easily, too. Like, I had, like, 3 of them, and one fell over, and I stepped on it, but it's because it fell over, damn it.
I'm using the the Eternals as a basis to kit bash some Sagittarium Guard for my custodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was going to use the Aether Wings as just my stand-in bases for the Razorwing Flocks for my Drakari, because I'm not spending $25 per base on those birds.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, cool.
Everyone's here.
Yep.
Bran?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Yep, we're all here.
Okay, I might be biting on something soon, like eating, of course. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just heads up for me. Okay, so that was the night. Nothing happened during your watches. In the early morning, you are preparing your horses to leave, and Dondon is prepping his cart for travel. When suddenly something happens. You see that a large single dog bursts out from the bushes and snatches Dondon, carrying him away. Of course, the halfling is quite verbal with a high-pitched shriek. You see that the animal is carrying the hapless halfling into the undergrowth. What are you doing?
It's too overgrown for a horse.
No, actually not.
Can I hop on my horse and pursue?
Of course. The rest of you?
I say, Luther, you guard the camp. I'm gonna go after Don.
On it.
Okay. And-
Luther goes and sits next to the little hand cart, because that's the most important thing here.
Okay. How are you going after Dondon, Conrad?
I was gonna run because I'm not really a horseback
Person.
fighting.
Sure. You are running after Dondon and the large animal that got him. But Cadveo, you've hopped on your horse and you are giving chase. And you know you don't like you hear the halfling just shrieking his lungs out. So you don't really have to follow trail or anything like that. And in just few seconds, actually, you catch up with the beast and its victim. You see that the wild dog is roughly 4.5 feet tall at the shoulders with a silvery gray coat. Roll me very quickly plus 10% common knowledge empire. You've passed or you failed, because I don't know if you.
That's a pass.
That's a pass. Okay, because you didn't include. So yeah, so it's like 60% for you. Okay, you recognize the dog. You recognize the breed. This is a Midland Wolfhound. It is prized by nobility throughout the empire, and you know that they are used as both pets, war dogs, and to hunt wolves with. You see that Don Don is wounded. The beast snapped its mighty jaws on the small halfling's arm, and blood is everywhere. You knew that if you wouldn't give chase in probably less than a minute, the poor halfling would be dead, torn to shreds. When you approach the animal, it lets go of Don Don, and it charges towards you. It's completely it's vicious. It's completely feral, and you know that it will fight to the death. You do see that it has a collar. Now, initiative time. You're first, then it's the dog, then it's your horse. Conrad, you are giving chase on foot, so I'm not counting you yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So it's Cadville,
the dog, and then the
dog,
horse.
and the
yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing, Cadvale?
I want to shoot at it once, and then with the bow in my offhand, quick draw my sword and use the bow as like a improvised weapon, like so I can still parry.
Do you have your bow in your hand?
Oh no, I guess I'm getting that out.
You are getting that out. You have a quick draw, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you get the bow out, but then you also need to get an arrow, which is a full action, and then shooting is another action. Like, it will take
Is
your...
rapid reload help?
It will help next turn, yes, but it won't help with you getting your... I mean, if you want to shoot, you won't be able to get your sword this turn.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, can I quick draw sword then?
No. Sorry, sword, like without shooting, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course, you can quick draw sword, and what next?
I charge.
On the horse, okay. You quick draw sword, and then you try to just... then you try to slay the animal. Very well. That means it's a plus 10%, plus 20% because you're fighting from horseback. So roll plus 20% weapon skill. Nice. The animal won't dodge or anything, so just roll damage.
Do I get just the one attack?
Oh!
Reroll. Weapon skill basic.
Oh, okay.
Without any modifiers. Nice. Roll d10. 10, 12 plus your strength. How much is it?
Strength is 4.
So 16. Okay, yeah. You see that the animal, it got... it actually tried to countercharge you. It is almost completely mad with bloodlust. It has foam in the corners of its mouth, but you were too quick. You were riding towards it. You've simply twirled your newly given sword, human sword, Kaimon sword, in your hand, and with a single swift strike, you've removed the animal's head from its shoulders. You didn't even slowed for a second. The head flew a few meters in a random direction, fell into the bushes. The body slumped onto the ground. Conrad, you emerge from between the trees and you see what happened. Catveil's sword is bloody, the animal is dead, the halfling is laying on the ground, clutching his mangled arm, sobbing quietly.
Nice one, Cadvel. I'll call you Dog Slayer.
By the way, Conrad, roll plus 10% common knowledge empire.
Beep, boop.
You also know that this animal that Cadvel just killed is a wolfhound, Midland wolfhound. A very prized, very respected breed of war dogs. It is especially coveted by nobles and hunters. Both of you know that this breed is renowned for its loyalty to its owners and its ferocity when hunting wolves. Its coat is usually a silvery gray and dark highlights. It has dark highlights and it stands 4 to 4.5 feet tall at the shoulders. You also know that a Midland wolfhound, actually only you know that, Conrad, can fetch up to 200 gold crowns. A single wolfhound. Blimey, says Dondon. That thing is as big as a horse and nearly took my arm off. Ah! And you see that.
I heard that halflings like to ride dogs like this.
Can you help me? It hurts so much. Ah. You also know, both of you, actually, you also know that it is very odd for the breed to behave so boldly, even when starved. And you see that this animal was in a starved condition. And then there's the color.
Yeah, Conrad goes over. So Conrad's gonna go over and look at the collar real quick, and
there are initials
halfling.
there. There are initials there. VO.
VO.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Don. Let's get you back to camp and see if Luther can't fix you up.
Much obliged, says, halfling with this pained expression. You return to the camp, both of you?
Yeah, I'm on high alert though, because there might be more dogs.
Okay, sure thing. You return to the camp in this case. Luther, you see that Cadveil and Conrad return. They have wounded halfling with them.
Luther snaps to attention and salutes and says, "Pie cart safe."
Thank you. Can you do something with my arm? You see that his arm has been very badly damaged by the animal.
Is there clean water around anywhere?
In your wineskins.
In my wineskin?
Yeah.
Well, I'll fill my wooden mug with clean water.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take a look at the wound.
You know that unless you do something with this wound, it will almost certainly get infected. So roll me average heal test.
One second, gotta bring up my sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Is rabies a thing in the old world?
Of course, yes, and,
Okay.
and it sucks.
Yeah.
I would like to. I'd like to burn a luck.
Okay, reroll.
We would know about, I would know about rabies.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah. You know about rabies, Cadveil. You know about rabies especially well because you're from, you're a forest weirdo. No, just kidding. You know especially well because you are a forest person, so you do realize the dangers of wild animals biting on you. But fortunately, you see that Luther, despite posing, you have a feeling that he's more posing as this country bumpkin than he actually really is. He very masterfully cleans the wound and bandages it. Remove another bandage, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the one off my sheet.
Okay. All the while, Dondon is just weeping quietly because he's in pain and he's traumatized by what happened, basically. But
I'd give him my flask of beer and tell him to down the whole thing to help him with the pain.
Thank you, and he does so. You see that he's like, it's gone.
Beer sucks.
it's like Bud Light. Yeah, it disappears completely.
Yes, I think forget it. I was gonna make a joke, but it's already past time. All right, let's go. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think there's any more of those dogs around here, Cadvale? Do we need to do some kind of?
We heard multiple dogs howling, right?
During the night, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's more.
Or should we just?
Opportunists.
Yeah. I wonder who VO might have been.
You don't know. You have no idea. But like I've said. Oh, by the way, do you tell Luther that this was actually a wolfhound, not a wild dog?
Yes.
Oh yeah, one of the Midlander dogs. Yes.
And I want to tell Don to constantly keep his eyes up and walk with purpose, because they'll attack if they think he's not paying attention.
There was a lordling son near us that had a wolfhound once. That was a gorgeous dog, but boy, that boy almost put his family into debt buying that thing. How the hell did a wolfhound make it out here?
Who knows? If the province is as ruined as Ostland was, then it's probably just.
Let's take the head and the collar with us in case we come across the owner.
Okay,
yeah, I got the collar.
Okay, so let's retroactively say that you took the head. Okay, no worries. I presume that you've put it in a sack.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. And you have the collar. All right. Well, anyway, you guess that it would probably be wise for Don to ride on a horse with the wound that he has.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, are you putting him on a horse?
Can he ride together?
Well, if you are going, to grab the reins and just walk the horse, then without any problems.
Okay. Yeah, Conrad will put him on his horse.
Yeah, and like I've said, this road is actually in a pretty good state.
And so I'll hand the reins to Luther to guide it, and then I'll push the cart.
Got it.
Okay. So you're up. You're riding. Oh my toasts are here. But yeah, okay. So anyway, near dusk, you eventually reach the village of Dunkelbild. It is a logging village. Near the relatively close to the Behafen, to the city of Behafen, from which there's a there's a clear river track to Talaheim. Of course, Dunkelboot is small.
I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. Though it is a few miles from the main road, it sees its share of travelers seeking fine woodwork. Ancient and primeval trees, large ferns and layers of mosses and lichens dominate the landscape. You guess that it has probably around 100 residents, maybe a bit less, and most folk either log, farm, or are in the service of the baron, of local baron. Usually it works that way with villages like that. You enter this village near dusk, and you see no one on the streets, but you hear noises coming from the alleyways of dogs fighting. And as you travel through the village, occasionally you see a lone hound or two peer out from the darkness, and you have this feeling that you are being watched. Where are you going?
Well, we're looking for an inn, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Is the town overrun by wild dogs?
You guess, yeah. I mean, not overrun per se. They're not attacking you, but people are keeping to themselves inside their homes. At this
Yeah,
at this
what is
hour,
that?
at this hour, it's definitely strange. You look for an inn.
Mhm.
There's only a single one, and you eventually find it. On the main road, there's the Smokehouse Inn and Tavern. You see that it is old meat smokehouse, now used as tavern for travelers and tradesmen. The building is old and rickety, but when you approach it, you can feel the warmth coming from it, and from the smells, you guess that it's well stocked with probably meats and wild game. You enter the inn immediately, or do something with the horses first?
We look to see if there's a stable.
There is. Hmm.
Yeah, so let's stable our horses and put the cart in the stable.
You open the stable. There are a few horses there already.
Yeah.
You take your horses inside, cart as well. You have a feeling that if you would leave the horses outside, they would be eaten, simply put.
I'm not leaving my horse.
So what are you doing?
I'll watch your horse if you want to go inside and find out what's going on.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll see what
By the way, the stable looks solid and the doors are also secured, just so you guys know.
Wait, so we could technically put the horses in there and they'd be protected?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The stable is like
I thought you said they would be eaten.
No, I said that if you would leave them outside,
Oh, yeah.
they would be eaten. But if you put them in the stable, they will be safe.
Okay, yeah. We'll put them in the stable then.
Okay,
I misunderstood you.
Yeah, sorry, my bad probably.
no.
Uh,
No, I just
Yeah.
uh,
Michael, you here? No, he's
I
not.
think he's not back yet.
Okay. So anyway, you enter, you secure your horses, you secure the meat wagon, and you enter the interior of the inn. It smells good. It smells of good food and it smells of good alcohol. There are about 10 people here right now, but you guess that in few hours there will probably be more. They all look at you with this tired and slightly scared expressions, but they are not scared of you. You know that. There's an aged man bearing the mark of pox scars, probably from his youth, standing behind the bar. You see that this place is generally kept in an orderly way, which, for a small village like that is quite impressive. Welcome to my abode, says the man. I'm Bjorn Shiver, the owner, eh? Can I help you with something? By the way, this is his name here.
I actually spelt it right. Amazing.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. My friends and I require a place to sleep for the night and some of whatever that delicious smelling food and drink is.
I see. Very well. Wait, someone is...
Yeah. Column was arcing. That's not good.
I don't know what this means. It sounds like some...
Well, yeah, it means that that there's an electrical problem and he's getting sparks.
Oh.
So he's gonna be a minute.
What is he talking about? What is it? What is he doing?
There's different sorts of apparati. I'm trying to think back to my days working in quality assurance and stuff, but because he works for like a pharmaceutical company essentially, right? So anyway,
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
but anyway, so if you've got like a fractionating column, you've got something where you're essentially filtering, distilling chemicals of some kind in there, and it apparently is having some kind of electrical short in it. Yeah, hexane over very fine silica. Yeah, not good to have sparks near that.
What can happen?
Well, if I recall correctly, hexane is like super flammable.
Jeez. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he just wrote could explode. Yeah,
He's about to get some superpowers or something.
yeah, yeah,
That's pretty hardcore.
yeah. Well, that's the world of
Methamphetamines.
No, instant death is not a superpower by all means. And yeah. So anyway, the owner tells you, yeah, I have rooms, 3 silver for a private room per night. Rooms are single.
Oh, you don't have like a group room?
No.
Oh, fuck. All right.
You interested?
Yes.
Very well. You want food and drink as well?
Yep.
Very well. What's the basic price for drink and food in a tavern?
like a penny or a couple of pennies or something, right?
So
No.
let's actually I also have my rulebook nearby. My digital rulebook. This.
Yeah, I never have that. Halfling names. I never have that up.
Off topic. I don't know if you want me to like role play me with the blood sacrifice for the cloak, like in Vampire the Masquerade or something.
I
You
mean,
mean where you actually cut yourself?
you just have to tell me when you.
That's what I have to do.
You just have to tell me when you are doing this.
Okay.
So it's saying like
Food.
I would have been doing it like once a day the whole time. I'll try and find a moment like before we go to bed or something. Then.
Okay.
well,
I have it.
so
I
they're
have
talking
it.
okay.
30. It's 10 pennies. So it's 30 pennies per meal.
30 pennies per meal.
Yes. And by the way, these are the prices that you've been paying so far, mostly.
Yeah. Because everything is okay. All right. We'll pay. So what would that be for the 4 of us, or does the halfling eat double? Or does he
Halfling.
pay for his own food?
Oh, Luther pays for Dondon. Okay.
Okay.
He'll be back in a minute, okay? Okay. Sure thing. No worries, Michael. Okay, so
Yeah.
Luther pays for Dondon, so 60 pennies from him, 30 pennies from you guys. Then remember about the rooms. Dondon pays for his own room, by the way.
Okay.
You are... Sorry. You are sitting at the table.
Yes.
You are trying to, relax your tired muscles from almost 2 weeks of constant travels. The smells coming from the cookpot are excellent, and Bjorn fetches you, this large portion of stew, of meat stew, of wild game meat stew, together with a big cup of mead. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. You can feel yourselves just having your strength restored just by smelling it, and the taste is even better. Yeah, you're trying to relax. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know if I need to make a gossip roll or whatever. I definitely want to eat and drink, and then I want to say, so what's with all the dogs?
So I guess you want to make a gossip. Okay.
Yeah.
So first you eat and drink, then you make a gossip. It's average test gossip.
Okay.
Whoa, that's few successes actually. Wow. Okay, you've passed by 20. Does anyone else want to do this as well?
I listen in, but I'm not gonna gossip myself.
Okay. And since Luther is not yet here, so I guess Conrad.
Yeah, he's busy eating.
Yeah. You finished your meal. You finished your drink. By the time you finished your meals and drinks, by the way, you see that there are quite a few more people here. And it looks to you as if people come here not only to eat and drink, but to hide. By the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back.
No worries.
Awesome.
Everything-
Glad you didn't blow up.
Yeah, everything's okay?
Yeah, it's really great.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing that you didn't blow up. So, do you want to gossip, by the way, Luther?
I'm pretty good at it, so I'll give it a shot.
Okay, so you also roll, and then I'll tell you who did it better.
I want to see if I can find the owner in here. Actually, like, should I make a gossip test for that?
The owner introduced himself to you. It's Boris.
Shiver.
Bjorn Shiver.
No, I have the dog's head and the collar. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I see. You're talking about that owner. Yeah. Well, I thought Conrad had the collar. He was gonna. That's kind of where I was going
Okay.
next after asking about all the dogs.
Okay.
Was I was gonna.
Well, I've got the head. You've got the collar. So you go ahead and ask about it. I'll
Go
drop
ahead.
the head on the table.
Okay, so Conrad and Luther, you guys ask questions, but Conrad is the one who is the real star when it comes to gossiping because he had a better role. So you've learned the following information. The hounds? You see, it's the Baron's own hounds that have turned against us, eh? That's basically what you've learned. From another person, word on the dogs is that no fairy will leave, lest strangers spread word that the hounds of chaos infect old Dunkelbild. Can't have that now, can we? The hounds have yet to kill a man, but they have maimed many. Never walk alone at night. Never, says one of the villagers looking at you very seriously. From another one, from one of the new ones who came after you finished eating, you've learned that the Baron's son Victor watches his estate. Ye poor lad, barely a man, and the feral hounds seem to stalk him like no other. And
Victor?
Victor, sir, yes.
I can't read or write, so somebody else is gonna have to connect the dots there.
And finally, the Baron and his brother were up to no good in their youth. To this day, I'll not forget the screams when those two had those Striganis burned at the stake. An ill wind has lingered ever since, says one of the older patrons. Go ahead. Sorry, that was all, by the way.
Okay. Okay. So Conrad says, are there still Strigany in the area?
Oh no, sir. They've been the ones that've been burned by Baron Vornamen. Well, actually, by Baron Vornamen's father. They've been buried behind his estate, and I remember that the vengeful Baron ordered a privy built atop their graves. Very brutal, if you ask me. But
That's a fitting myth.
Well, yes, but I mean, there are, in my humble opinion, there are certain limits to holding a grudge. But no other Strigani. Actually, no other Strigani ever visited our fine establishment.
Hmm. So Conrad pulls out the collar with the VO on it. So, do you guys recognize this VO?
Mm. When they look at this, you see that their faces turn sour. Why, yes, sir. This is a collar of one of Baron Vornamen's prized wolfhounds.
Hmm. Where is this Baron? Where does he live?
I can answer that question, says a voice coming from the door. And you see a tall, dark man, well into his middle years, entering the tavern. His eyes are sunken, but they spark with a quick intelligence. He is slimly built, and his wiry muscles have old scars. He has long dark hair, which is peppered with grey hairs, and you see that his movements are stiff and wary. It's clear that he was probably a soldier in his youth. He has sleeved chain shirt, chain leggings, long sword at his hip. He approaches your table. "Stefan Shaw, at your service," he says. "I am the reeve of this place. I've heard about your arrival and decided to meet you here at our only but very fine smokehouse tavern. Eh?"
Yes, it's very fine. I agree.
He, grabs a chair and sits right next to you. "Can I order you something to drink?"
By all means.
"Bjorn, give us some mead." "Of course," says the owner, and he prepares another round. "Now, what brings you to our fine establishment, eh?"
We are just travelers on the road heading towards Kislev, helping our friend here that we met along the way through the perils of travel on the road.
I see. Well, as it turns out, gentlemen, Baron Vornamen Otterbow, the lord of our village, he has been, he held for many years the position of Carl Francis Master of Hounds. And when the war came to our fair empire, he was called to serve his lord. At the front lines, he traveled to Middenheim to stand with his master there against the hordes from the north. He left me in charge of the village and his only heir in charge of his estate. Now, his only heir, Victor, by the way. Victor Otterbow. By the way, it's this is how it's Otterbow. Here, that's how it's.
Oh, bow. Okay, got
yeah, Otterbow. Yeah. So, but as you probably guess, since you did travel here and you saw our village and what's lurking in the alleys, we have a slight problem.
Yes.
The Baron is a good man, even though the hounds have the run of the place. Several men have been beat and things are clearly out of hand now. It is perhaps a blessing that the Baron was called to the Emperor's service. Now I can tidy things up a bit by the time he returns. The problem is getting the wolfhounds captured and staying alive while doing so, especially now the hounds have, and you see that he hesitated, changed since the Baron has left. They are more aggressive, feral, and... What's that sound in the background?
Sorry, that
Sounds like,
was
yeah.
Well, they are more aggressive, feral, and perhaps you will think me mad, but if you watch them, you can see they think. They are clever beyond normal animals. See, the Baron always had an affinity for hounds, for raising them, actually. He was, after all, he was the hound master to Karl Franz. And he...
Go France!
Go France! Go
Karl
France! Go
Franz.
France! You see that, you know. The entire tavern is like, Go France! Yes, Go France! He is well known for his skill with all manner of beasts, and in particular the famed breeds of Midland Wolfhound. I don't know if you've heard about them, but these hounds, they've grew a legendary reputation, and the dogs, they are sought after by the nobility of the empire as loyal companions. They are greatly prized for their size, strength, and loyalty. And as the years pass, the Baron's love for the breed only increased, and sadly he grew, and he of course says this quietly, he grew senile in his old age. You know, he made sure his loyal dogs would never be harmed through a plethora of absurd laws which protected the dogs more than the villagers themselves. We were forbidden to harm the animals, we were obligated to feed them if dogs came hungry to our door, and the hounds were given free rein to roam where they please. Unfortunately, over time they grew more feral with their freedom. They began to travel in packs, hunt the livestock, and occasionally terrorize the locals. And in recent years, even more strange behavior from the animals has been observed. No livestock is safe in the village. There have been strange sightings reported of beastly dogs of huge proportions. And like I've said before, the hounds have become both clever and organized. So, as the old Baron was called to the service of Karl Franz to defend Mindenheim, Karl Franz! The Baron did so, and he gave me the power of law over his lands. I am the Reeve, and his son Victor is keeping an eye on his estates. Now, I am a loyal man to the Baron, but I am also practical enough to know that a serious problem has developed with the hounds in the town. And I am looking for answers and a solution to stop their uncouth actions, uncouth ways. So I would like to hire your services. I will pay you handsomely for it, by the way.
Well,
Baron was a good-natured man, and he loved animals, but for the sake of this town, before he returns, I must solve this problem. Many of the animals have escaped from the kennels, and like I've said, numerous livestock attacks have been also a fact.
Our friend was attacked on the road.
The friend? Which one? Me, sir, says Don Don. You see that Stefan looks at him and he's seriously disturbed. Like it's not an act. He looks at him. Well, it's good thing that you survived, Herr Hoffling. Oh, thanks to my comrades here. So anyway, if you are interested, I will enlist your help. He looks at you, Conrad. Yeah.
yes, you wouldn't happen to have any armor lying around, would you?
That can be arranged, I guess. Well, let me put it this way. If you will agree to help me, you will be enlisted officially as Imperial Dog Catchers, and I will even gild you by my authority as an assistant houndmaster of Karl Franz. I will give you a writ, giving you full authority to use any means necessary to deal with hounds. This is actually it might sound funny to you, but this is actually a very big thing. You will be, in the eyes of our law, a man of the state. I will also pay you 200 gold crowns for the job.
Conrad Conrad looks at the other two guys and is like, 200 crowns is 200 crowns.
But, says Stephen, but there are a few, well, actually there are two things. First of all, I want you to capture the bulk of the hounds, not kill them. They are Baron Otterbo's prized animals, and if you would find out that during my duties as reeve his animals have been killed, it will probably cost me my job and my livelihood. Of course, if it comes to that, you can use force, but I will pay you additionally 5 gold per live captured Middenland wolfhound.
5 gold?
5 gold per single captured Middenland wolfhound. So 200 gold for the job, and 5 gold extra for every single wolfhound that you manage to capture and not kill. You will also stay here free of charge, and you will be given 2 square meals a day, but you have to pay for your own drinks.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Where do I sign?
I want free drinks.
Excellent. You won't have to sign anything. He produces a small piece of parchment and signs it. You see that it already has a seal. He gives it to you, Conrad, because he thinks that you're the man in charge. You can read and write, and you see that this is in fact a writ, a legit writ. And now all of you roll me a minus 10% common knowledge empire test. Nice. All right. Cadwell, you don't know, but Luther and Conrad, you see one thing. This writ doesn't have an expiration date, which actually gives the holder some meager amount of authority throughout the entire empire as imperial dog catchers. This paper actually is pretty valuable in itself. Now, there are 3 packs to be brought down. Total. I want you to take care of each other one by one. The first pack roams the village itself, looking for scraps and picking through debris. And I want you to deal with this pack first, since they are the most immediate threat. There are 14 hounds total, 6 of which are Middenland wolfhounds. Remember, I only want them alive. You can kill the other dogs. Like, for example, the 3 dachshunds, which are there. Yeah. But if at all possible, I want the Midland wolfhounds alive. And the other hounds are feral dogs. So you can also dispatch them completely. The second pack roams the forest outside of the village. And if I recall correctly, there are about 5-6 wolfhounds, I think. It will probably be harder for you to find as they, travel the forests, probably a few miles around the village. But I'm sure that people and elves, and he looks at you, Cadveo, of your skills will have no problem with that. And finally, the third and final pack is near the river by the Baron's kennels and his estate. The kennels, just as the estate, is looked after by Victor Otterbo, Baron's son. When you deal with the... I would like you to contact Victor. Either before you even start the whole thing, or at least before you deal with the third pack.
Yeah. Will do.
Yes. Now, that's, from me, that's practically everything. I presume that you've just agreed to my terms?
We'll do our best to bring back as many dogs alive as we can.
Yes, and I would like for you to, if possible, do it rather quickly. The war is over, or so they say, and so the Baron will, if he's still alive, I hope that he is, he'll be returning pretty soon to his beloved village. I would like for him to return to a safe and prosperous village, the same that he left, and not to a place that is terrorized by his dogs.
Yes.
I am living in a house not far from here with my wife, Eliza, who is a healer, by the way. So if any of you will need medical attention, just come to our place and we'll help you out, alright?
Sounds great.
Alright. Of course, the money will be paid after you complete the job. But, as I've said before, you can stay here free of charge, and Bjorn will give you 2 square meals, but drinks are on you.
Sounds reasonable.
I am very glad that you... Yes?
Can your wife show some of Isha's mercy on our half friend here?
Yes, of course.
How about a whole friend?
Of course, but perhaps tomorrow, if that's possible. I mean, right now, by the way, I don't know if you've heard that, but at this point, it's best not to leave your houses. I will go to mine now, but that's why I'm prepared like that, and he points at his armor. You don't really want to travel during the night through Dunkelboot. The dogs can be rather unpleasant. Like I said before, a few of the villagers have already been bit. So please visit my house tomorrow morning, and my wife will take care of your friend. By the way, I'm not with them. I mean, I'm sorry, Mine says Don looking at you, but this whole hunting business is not for me. I will stay here, pay for my own things, and I will, of course, buy you all a meal and drinks in as a token of thanks. But I can do this. I'm afraid. Understandable, says Steven.
You should at least take the healer's help.
I will, if I can. Of course. Visit my wife tomorrow, me and my wife tomorrow morning, and Eliza will help you. Thank you.
Don, buying us a meal is not necessary. I think you could just make us a pie would be good.
I will do so with vigor and and without any problems, says Don. You see that he's very relieved that you're not forcing him to actually, travel with you and hunt dogs. Steven got up, shook each of your, each one of your hands, like hands of each one of you. Sorry, not each of your hands. Yeah. Said his farewells to Bjorn, and then left. You are left alone. Which, by the way, this means that you don't have to pay for today's meals and rooms. So
nice.
You can give yourselves the money back. Bjorn said that. Well, since
Really?
you are helping our community, this meals and drinks were on me, and as Stefan said, the rooms are free of charge.
Excellent.
Yeah. You are very glad about that, because the meals, while very expensive, they were probably the best inn meals that you had for days. What now, guys?
Let's get some shut eye.
You are quite tired. That's true. You want to discuss anything before, or
I don't know. Do you guys want to discuss it now, or do you want to discuss in the morning?
I'd rather discuss it over some eggs in the morning.
Sounds good.
all right? So you are going to your rooms. The rooms, just as the entire inn. Wait a second. Someone is writing. Okay. The rooms, just as the entire inn. As I've said before, are serviceable. They are very well kept, although pretty basic. That said, you go to sleep and you sleep very well. Although during the night you've heard many howls of hounds, wolves, or other unknown beasts, and occasionally you thought that you could hear scratching on the wooden exterior, which seemed far too thin for comfort. Yeah. Next day comes, you wake up, you go outside, and Bjorn is already preparing you a meal of scrambled eggs, fried veal, some bread, maybe not too fresh but edible, butter, and some milk. You sit at your table. You see that Don Don is not yet up. He's probably still sleeping. There are only a few patrons in the inn. They are looking at you with this mix of, uncertainty and hope. You guys sit around the table. What now? Quiet.
Well, yeah. Well, gentlemen, sorry, I was just finishing writing. Well, gentlemen, I think the real trick is how we don't kill every last one of these dogs.
Well, we should be getting paid 5 gold less, that's for sure. Or 5 silver less, whatever it was.
It was 5 gold per hound that we can keep alive. So, I look at Cadwell and I'm like, you must have some way to that your folk trap animals without harming them. Is there anything that we could do to make our lives a little bit easier and perhaps take care of this? What do you think?
I mean, to catch like one or a couple, yeah, but this is how many do we have to catch? There's like hundreds.
No, not hundreds.
No. It's like total. I want to say here. Let me look through the notes. Total, I want to say it's like maybe 15 tops. There's 3 packs.
Yes.
6. Oh, we didn't get a number of.
Actually, he told you the first pack contains 14 hounds, 6 of which are Midland Wolf hounds. This pack also contains 3 miniature dachshunds, and the other hounds left in the pack are feral dogs. All of the animals except the wolfhounds are, clear target, so to speak.
Yeah.
The second pack, it consists of 10 hounds. 5 of the hounds are Midland Wolfhounds. And the third pack, you don't really know.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I got. Okay. Yeah, so I was sort of thinking, like, I don't know if we can get anywhere near the water. We can get anything like fishermen nets, sort of like do a thing where we set up some kind of enclosure and we do like, sort of we drive them.
Do you have academic knowledge, strategy, and tactics?
Actually, I might.
I need to learn it, but yeah.
And thus, Luther has this knowledge as well.
I have strategy and tactics, yes.
Roll. Okay, excellent. You have killer rolls today. So, you've made the test, so now I'm going... Okay. You are discussing the options for catching the dogs, Michael. Does your character have academic knowledge, strategy, and tactics?
Sure.
I mean, does he have it? Because if so, you can roll on it.
I'm checking if I have it.
Sure?
Yeah, I got it.
You can roll. Nice.
Oh man, he's got he's
Yeah.
got massive tactics skill.
Yeah, both of you know that you have few options. You can lure them by food. You can ensnare them, probably using nets or other ensnarement devices. Perhaps the townsfolk here would be able to construct some kind of large net. Again, pits, leg snares, and other traps would work as well. And maybe the kennels, if you'd be standing on a kennel using a rope or other mechanism to trap a hound inside, that could work. You can, as funny as that sounds, rouse the village. You'd probably have to, command them or charm them to gather enough villagers to assist you. But then they would be able to arm themselves with torches, makeshift weapons, and aid you in herding or capturing the hounds. There's the hound herding, which if you have horses, the hounds can be forced to certain locations of the village. Again, this would not be easy, but it is possible. Fire is also a good tool, as the animals, are afraid of it and stay away from it if possible. Maybe lure the hounds into an empty building. There's the, this Conrad divide and conquer strategy, which means that, getting the hounds when they are not in one large pack.
I was just going to say, maybe we can call the ones that we can kill, and then that would make the leftover ones less bold and easier to catch.
Yeah, that's it. You also, Catvale, think when you are discussing this, that you'll be able to help with the traps. There's the dog-eat-dog, because Stefan told you that the kennels hold about 12 noble-class wolfhounds, like not the ones that escaped. And so if you could maybe persuade Victor Otterball to release them, to use them to hunt down the feral hounds, they would be up to the task, but of course, that would potentially mean that many of the hounds would be dead. And finally, there's the extermination option, killing all of the hounds. But it's not only, counterproductive to your task, since you wouldn't be paid as well. It's also, that attacking such a large number of hounds would probably prove quite difficult for you guys. So that's the options you have.
I think maybe if we can set up snares, traps, like build those traps, bird traps or whatever. Like deadfall. Well, not deadfalls because that would kill them, but like the kind where you set up like some food or something and a trigger so that it like I have a heart trap. I'm assuming that Cadvale, being a elf and a hunter of sorts, knows how to set up kind of traps and snares. And and we do that, try our hand at that, see how that works. And if we catch the money dogs, we can chop them up and use them for bait for subsequent traps.
I just think if like there be an opportunistic, like we should too. Like, so if we see like a non-Middenheim dog hound that's like available to kill, like call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So while we're running around doing these other things, like I'll keep some extra arrows on me.
Yeah, well, so that's the first thing I want to do is we'll take Don over to what's his name's house, Stefan's house, to get healed and see if he has some armor and or equipment for us. Because I could use a bow as well, for instance, or some kind of
helmet.
You need a helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever armor he has to give, I'll take. I only have leather at this point. That
Yeah, me too.
The
I do
Raven
have
Knights
this-
gave us.
I do have this cooking pot I can put on my head.
Might work for one hit.
Okay.
So let's finish up our breakfast and then let's should we see if we can raise Don Don and take him over there?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we are finishing your breakfast, which is actually very good. You have some, kind of plan to go with. You rouse Don Don, who, of course, before he lets you guide him to the Stephen and Eliza's home, wants to eat something because he's a halfling.
Yeah.
So he also orders a huge early meal, and he asks if you guys want to drink something on his, on him.
Sure.
So he orders a few light beers from Bjorn. After that, you go outside. Even now, at this time, there are a few villagers on the main street, doing their chores, their work. But for a village like that, and by the way, you found out that there are about 82 people here. There are way few many people on the street, and those that are scared. And you can see from time to time you can see a dog shape coming from one of the side alleys, looking at you, at the people, growling slightly, quietly, and then just returning to the shadows. You've been given directions to Show's house, and eventually you brought Don Don there. Eliza is, not exactly attractive woman in her early 40s probably, but she clearly knows how to treat a wound because she quickly starts working on Don Don's arm. She also says that whoever patched him is very competent, because that wound dealt by a wolf's hound could have been very nasty. So she says that. Stefan looks at you. Well, are you ready to take on the dogs then?
Yes. Can you supply us with any extra armor or weapons?
Yes, about that. I've actually checked very early today. When Baron left for war with his men at arms, they've took almost everything with them. So unfortunately, there's no armor, but there are a few weapons, depending on what you need.
I could use a bow and maybe a shield.
It will be possible, of course. We have few bows. After all, people here are hunters, but now almost no one goes out hunting into the woods because it's too dangerous because of all the animals, of all the hounds. So yeah, I can give you a bow and a quiver full of arrows.
I need, if possible, and I know it's maybe a long get, but can I get some fishing line?
Fishing line? Of course. We have a ferry nearby, after all. I even have some fishing line here. Let me check. You see that he's
we'll definitely need rope for this too. Rope, arrows. I could use another sword.
We don't have another sword, Master Elf. Arrows.
How about nets?
Normal nets we have.
Okay.
Naturally, we have normal nets. They are readily available. If you would want a larger net, then I would have to ask townsfolk to construct a large net. Do you want me to do this?
Yeah, we'll need a large.
Yeah, why don't you give us the nets that we can give us each a net, and have them make a big one.
All right. He gives you the fishing line, Luther. Then he leaves Dondon, to the tender mercies of his wife, and bids you to follow him as he walks outside. You go from house to house, and eventually you get few nets. Each one of you has a single net.
Okay.
Do you need anything else? Asks Stefan.
I need to step back over and talk to Bjorn real quick.
Very well.
Some rope, I guess.
Remember that you have rope, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have 30 feet from
Yeah, so like 10 meters, I think.
Ludwig situation. Where is he? I forgot all about him until right now. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and you were quite freaked out when it turned out that he, disappeared. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't bothering you ever since, so that's probably good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be awkward running into him.
Yeah.
Stankle wizard eye.
Luther, you return to the inn. You approach Bjorn, who's standing behind the bar. He looks at you. Yes?
Bjorn, I need how much for just like a bucket of some meat that's past its prime?
Nothing at all.
All right, well, I just need the grossest cuts you got, the smelliest ones you have.
You need it right now?
If impossible, yeah.
Of course. Wait here for a few seconds. And he goes to the kitchen, behind the bar. After like a minute, maybe two, he returns with a bucket filled with something that stinks so horribly you want to gag.
But it probably smells better than me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot that you also stink. Yeah. So he handles this to you, while also looking at you like, for Tao's sake, man, wash yourself. Of course, he's not saying that. He looks at you like that.
Wash your stank ass.
Yeah, something like that.
I walk back out and I stand about 10 feet away from Conrad and Cadfael with this bucket and just say, Cadfael, if you go around and scout out some good spots where we can trap a couple hounds, I'll go out and hang a little bait.
Yeah, I'll check out the terrain.
Stefan looks at that, at the bucket. Oh, that's actually a good idea. I mean, I'm not sure if the wolfhounds will get this kind of bait. They were, after all, treated very well by the Baron. They were, given excellent conditions, including food. But
yes, but the other hounds, they ain't gonna say no to scraps.
no, certainly, sir, certainly not. That's an excellent idea. Have you spoken to Victor already?
Not yet. We were gonna set up some snares and then possibly do that.
All right. Do you need anything else from me? I will ask villagers to create the net. It should be ready. If everything will go according to plan, it should be ready for today's evening.
Perfect.
So if that's all, then I'll go my way and do what's necessary.
Okay.
He nodded to each of you, and then he went his merry way. Cadvale, you want to scout?
Yeah, I want to look for places to put snares and net traps and such.
Okay. Okay. You also know, Cadvale.
Pitfall traps with no spikes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you also know, Cadvale, that if worse comes to worse, you could probably try and subdue a hound. If you manage to get a lone one, with your I'm going to say this in games terms, charm animal test or intimidate.
I'll carry a milk bone in my pocket.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you want to scout? Then roll me perception.
Oh.
No, by the way, on a botch, you'll be attacked by the animals. Just so you know. Okay, you found a very good spot.
Okay. I will set up a snare trap here.
Okay, remember, because you guys haven't told me, he's going there alone. Just so you know, because
Okay.
Catveo told me
Oh,
that
yeah.
that he's doing this alone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is true.
yeah.
Whoops.
You want to place a trap. Roll me trap skill.
I have it somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Nice. 87. Very well. All right. You've placed. How many traps do you have, by the way?
I have the rope and the net.
Because when you were in the encampment, in the Crusade encampment, I recall that you had traps.
Yeah, I had 2 at one point, and then I think when we got our asses kicked,
When the elves kidnapped you.
oh no, it was when the coach driver sold us out. But then we found the stuff again. So I guess I still technically have.
You have the 2 traps. Yeah, so you use that. Okay. So you place both traps. Okay, very well. Well, as you've placed both traps, right outside the village, in a very, very good place, you raise your eyes and you see that from a couple of side alleys in the village, you know that the animals are watching you. You feel very unsure and exposed here by yourself.
I'm not sure I would go much further than I would.
I know, but you've rolled 87. That's why I'm telling you that you found perfect quote-unquote place.
Okay, yeah.
That's how it works. You think that this is a good place, but only after you've finished setting up the traps and you looked up, you see that perhaps you've gambled a bit, dangerously.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I presume you quickly return to your friends.
Yeah.
Okay, you do so without any problems, but you will remember next time to be more careful because this was dangerous. You know that. You see that, guys. You see that Catveo returned. Luther, you still have the bucket with the stinking meat.
I do.
What now? What are you guys going to do now? You see that Catveo returned. He doesn't have his traps on him.
Luther, you should go put some of that meat on those traps by yourself real quick.
Catveo, I'm not an idiot. I'm going to need you to come around and keep your eyes open, your elf eyes open, while I hang some of this shit up.
Yeah, I'll show you where the traps are.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe we should also maybe see if we can take some of that and lead them into the center of town here because they seem to be staying in the shadows. So let's get them to come out into the middle of town, where we can have at them. How's that sound?
I'm not sure I'd set the best traps.
No, you are actually sure about that.
Oh, I'm sure that they are. Okay.
Oh, Catveo, did you already bait the traps?
Sure. Awesome bait, guaranteed to work.
I hate to point this out, but vegetables aren't good bait. Is that what you put in those traps?
Out of character, I don't know what I used.
Well,
or if I remembered at all, because I did a bad job with it.
Well, no, you managed to set up the traps right, but it was the place where you've scouted that was iffy. You've used, I guess that you've used slivers of meat from your rations, I guess. Something like that.
All right. Then yeah, we'll put this bucket of meat in the middle of town. Strew it about.
Strew it about? Are we just feeding them or are we leading them somewhere?
You said put it in the middle of town. If we put it in just one bucket in the middle of town, it's unlikely we're going to get a lot of hounds in one place.
Right.
Now,
No. I
if we
was saying
streak-
you make a trail of meat crumbs, as it were.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was saying if we put it out in sort of a 5 foot or so circle area, one of us can, we can triangulate or so around them and block them from running off in certain directions.
Sounds good.
Agreed.
All right, Luther walks over to the center of town and just dumps the bucket and starts kicking rotting meat around.
Okay, sure. You do that. You drop the disgusting meat, on the ground. You just kick it in every single direction. This thing is just, it stinks horribly. Yeah, you do so, like, gagging slightly, I guess. And what's next? You did so. You did that. You did just that.
I'm gonna walk back over to Bjorn's
Mm-hmm.
because we got some time here, I think, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna walk
So
back over and I'm gonna ask for how much it would cost to take a bath.
You mean the bath in the inn, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Very quickly, I have the book here. So you return there. You enter. You see that once again. The owner looks at you rather sourly because you stink. You ask him how much it will cost for you to take a bath. He says 2 silver.
Oh, that's pretty cheap.
No, actually, normally it's a single silver. So it's more expensive than average.
I would like to haggle.
All right, minus 30 for haggling.
That's fair.
Because you stink horribly, and this is just for this man. This is just outrageous.
But I do want to make the point that Bjorn, I think it would be better for business if I were to smell nicer, and it would 2 silvers. That's pretty high.
He's not saying
And
anything.
that's not gonna happen.
Oh, I'm going to roll for him because this is a counter test, so he might. No, he rolled better than you. No
Fine,
chance.
I'll pay the 2 silvers. Damn it.
Yeah, okay. You pay the 2 silver, and he brought, a bath of water to your room. He even gave you half of a bar of gray soap.
All right. Well, you boys stay outside. I'm about to get real up close and personal with my god.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that you told them before you entered the inn again. So yeah. So that's
and set about cleaning myself and trying to clean my clothes.
all right. What do you guys do, Catvale and Conrad, when he is cleaning himself, trying to clean himself rather?
I guess keep an eye on the meat in the middle of town. Like, what's the strategy with it?
Okay. In that case, are you standing near the meat? Are you hiding somewhere, stuff like that?
yeah. So I sort of feel like with this sort of setup is that we're setting a bait station, and then we need to find some sort of for lack of a better term, some kind of hunting blind kind of place to set up, and like Luther suggested, sort of maybe triangulate so that we're on opposite sides, or that we have some way to kind of corner them in.
Okay.
Or do we have a general sense of where they might come from, or is it
No.
just they're
No.
okay? So they're all just coming
The
from
fir-
the alleyways.
The first pack just roams the village. You know that. Stefan
Yeah.
told you that. And they live in the alleyways of the village, and outside the village, in the village, stuff like that. They are completely terrorizing people here, so no one is showing any kind of resistance towards them.
Mhm.
Yeah, sadly. So when you've dumped the food, of course, most of the people, when they saw what you were doing, they just move as far away from it as possible. Not only because it stinks, but because they know what's coming, and they don't want to stand near a food that's probably going to be in a short while. You know, that's going to be the center. The center of attention of the attention of a bunch of feral dogs. So my question to you is, where are you guys positioning yourselves? Or are you positioning yourselves at all? Somewhere.
Yeah, so I mean, if I can get up like one level above and see it and get the bow out, that's what I would like to do. If I cannot, just somewhere like, to set up, behind the
Can we
corner
go to the
of the
second
building.
story of the tavern, maybe?
You can go to the roof.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go up there with them.
Climb test, please.
Do I have climb?
Because no one comes to the roof if they don't have to. Okay, no, sorry, you don't have to roll climb test. Sorry, my bad. It's stupid. There's a ladder. Yeah, there's a ladder. Yeah, just use the ladder. You go.
Okay.
Yeah. You position yourselves on the roof. By the way, Conrad, you've been given the bow and the total of, let me see how many arrows. I'm going to roll the heretical D20 dice. Never used it in Warhammer Fantasy.
100
2
arrows. We give him 2 arrows. All right, well, that's better than none.
Stefan told you that after this day he'll probably give you more, but he'll have to go around and ask people. He basically gave you his bow.
Okay.
So he only had 2 arrows left. Sorry. So you have 2 arrows. Okay, you are sitting on the roof. Below you.
Take 3 from me. I have 10 right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have 7 left.
Below you, in his room, Luther is just scrubbing himself clean.
Taking a bath.
Yeah, while you guys are sitting on the roof.
I'm gonna dump this meat here and take a bath. Peace, guys.
Later, losers.
The window is open, so you're just treated to that wonderful smell.
Well, I mean,
ouch.
Actually, I'm going to roll for that. Wait a second. That's very good idea, Michael. Thank you for that. Let me see. 150 says it will be this window. No, sadly it's not. You're lucky. You guys don't smell the crans.
Yeah, you don't want to get a case of people say that the trots is really rough, but you don't want the crants.
There you go.
Yeah. When we are, on the subject of bedpans, I just gotta say, muffin to see here. And that's it. Sorry. You're waiting, guys. You're sitting on the roofs with your bows out. You eventually see empty street. But is it really? From the alleys coming, from the side alleys, emerge first a single animal, then 2, then 3. You see mangy hounds, not noble animals, just stray dogs, emaciated, with matted fur, hungry, sniffing the air around them. You see 3 dachshunds walking on their short, funny legs. Still, you can, even from this distance, you can see that these animals are mean, and they will probably bite. Dachshunds are the worst.
Yeah.
And then you eventually see 5 Midland wolfhounds. They also look like they are starving, but they are clearly the noblest of canines here. the animals are slowly approaching the discarded meat. Slowly, because because suddenly the mangy dogs just rush towards the meat and begin to eat. Then dachshunds follow, and eventually the wolfhounds. The meat is being devoured. What are you guys going to do?
I'm gonna whisper. I think we should cast our nets.
Yeah.
And shoot the non-wolfhounds that we don't get with the nets.
Sounds good. Do you want
And then
me?
we'll just get some of them.
I'll throw the net. You shoot, and then
I'll throw a net and you
throw-
shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so now two things. First of all, does any of you have specialist weapon net?
Probably not.
Okay.
No, but I think I can learn it with this career.
Second of all, these are not your man catcher nets. These are fishing nets. They are not wave. They don't have the necessary weight thingies at the end. So you can throw them, no problem. But this is going to be a hard roll. Since you don't have this weapon, you test half of your. Actually, I remember that the nets had this very funny thing. I'm not sure if it's weapon skill or ballistic skill. Because, for example, when you are using whip, it's ballistic skill in this game, which is very strange in my opinion. Wait a second. Yeah, it's ballistic skill. So it's half of your ballistic skill minus 10 additionally.
Okay. So I'm rolling on a.
Who's rolling first?
I was gonna roll first.
Okay. You get up on the roof. You produce your net and you prepare to cast it. And how do you want to do this? Who do you want to catch with the net?
I want to try to catch one of the money hounds.
The money hounds. Okay, sure. Okay.
Okay. So,
roll.
All right. So I need to roll essentially a 16. That's half my ballistic skill.
Because normally you would, yes, but they are eating. So you can take your time and aim.
Okay.
So you can take your time and aim for a total of, let's say, since they are eating, of plus 30% if you want. But if you wait so long, then they will almost finish eating. If you wait for plus 20%, then it will be, much quicker, stuff like that.
Let's get the nets out at the same time, so there's we could potentially get more than one or something. You know what I mean? With the element of surprise.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do plus 20%, so that's a total of plus 10%. So let me.
Okay.
53 divided by 2.
Always run down 26.
Yeah, 26. So I have a 36% chance to hit one of these dudes.
You can spend a luck point now to give yourself plus 10 additional, but you won't be able to reroll after that.
Okay. I will save it for a reroll. I feel like 36 is pretty good.
Roll.
Nope, I missed.
Let's say that you've managed to hit. Let's say that you managed to hit. That's a good enough roll for me.
Okay.
That's a good enough roll.
But it's not half though.
Oh, it's not half. Oh, because because you haven't. Okay.
It would only be it would only be 26 and then 36. So.
Okay. Yeah, in 15 minutes we'll be ending, guys. This is our basic ending time anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to reroll that?
Yeah, I'll reroll it.
Okay, reroll, please.
Nope.
And that's a bot.
Oh, damn it.
Okay,
I tangled myself up in the net.
What happened was that Conrad, you end up you produce this net in this flashy fashion, you were swished it around your head, and then you've ensnared yourself and cut Valent.
Oh man. Three Stooges over here.
You guys fell on the roof. Fortunately, you didn't broke through, but you fell on the roof, completely entangled together in a net. And you can't get out. For now.
There's always tomorrow.
You call this a missed opportunity.
You are of course you do eventually free yourselves. But by this point, but by the time that you did so, the animals are gone, having gorged themselves on the meat. Yeah. Luther, meanwhile, you've scrubbed yourself clean as best as you could.
I have scrubbed myself pink.
At some point, you thought that you've heard something thudding on the roof.
Probably one of the dogs.
Not above you, per se, but on the roof nonetheless. Then yeah, sorry.
My doom does say death comes from above. So I'm gonna go back downstairs and hang out by the fire after I get dressed.
Okay. You've also tried to clean your clothes as best as you could, but the problem is that as soon as you went outside and went to the fireplace. By the way, here in the Empire, so close to the Kislev border, even during this time of year, it's cold. So you are warming yourself. And you see that the few patrons sitting in the main room are moving away from you as far as possible. And then you understand why. The stench returns. Actually, it never left. You stink like a latrine. An overflowed latrine, I might add.
I mean, I get it. I get that when people see a professional soldier out here, they're a little bit wary. But, walking around, I just cleaned a bunch of blood off me. So it's probably apparent that, oh, man, this boy smells like death. I don't want to be anywhere close to him.
By the way, even for you, and for you guys as well, for you, Conrad and Cadvale, there's the old world stink, and then there's Luther's stink. You have a feeling that it's not completely natural. It's like he stinks so bad that even people who are accustomed to poor sanitary conditions of Warhammer World are appalled. Just so you know, this includes you, Luther. This stink.
Oh, I know. I'm just not willing to admit that I'm smelly.
Of course. So yeah, so that is that.
Is that one of those character flaws in the book or something?
Out of the character, he has what dark magicians have. When you were traveling through the tunnel, remember I wanted you guys to roll, and Ludwig failed and he failed, and they got.
I don't remember that at all. Yeah, I thought it was something he rolled for with his character. That's what I was asking.
No, and he got what when you are playing a necromancer or a demonologist, you have the longer you use power, the bigger chance you have for those kind of nasty side effects. That's what he has. Sadly. I mean, it's still better than Ludwig, because Ludwig had his toughness modified.
In the rulebook, you could roll for he has a wart on his nose, or he smells bad or something. There's character flaws.
Character flaws, yeah, but that's under magic, under dark magic in the rulebook.
Okay, I got you.
No, you're not a necromancer. You just stink.
Yeah, you just smell like one.
Yeah. Well, actually, after yes, you are. So after you guys, Conrad and Cadwell, after you've disentangled yourselves, and after admitting defeat. What about the hands? Yeah. So you've decided what to do next. I don't know what you've decided.
Go downstairs and buy some drinks and think about how we're gonna do better tomorrow.
Okay. You come down the ladder, you enter the tavern, you smell it first. Actually, you smell Luther first. You see that he's still dripping, his hair is still wet. It's clear that he actually took a bath, but that's the strange thing. He still stinks horribly. And the worst part, when you were sleeping under the stars, stuff like that, or you had different rooms, that was, let's say, that was possible. But when you are sitting in a common room with a guy who stinks like that, sitting right next to a fireplace, that's yeah. that's no bueno, as they used to say.
You know, God, words hurt.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay on the far side of the room then,
Okay.
because it's also not cool coming back after failing at catching any dogs, and he just took a bath the whole time. Kicked up by the fire, drinking a beer.
Yeah. By the way, Luther, you see that Conrad and Cadveo have this sour looks on their faces, and they look like they've. You're not sure, but they look like they've wrestled with someone. Perhaps you're not too sure. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So you've ordered a drink, Cadveo.
Yes.
In that case, it will be. Sorry. My PDF got bonked. Oh yeah, here it is. 6 pennies. Oh, sorry. Is it beer? Is it beer or is it wine?
They seem to have mead here, right?
Yeah, mead. So it will be 3 silver in that case.
Oh, 3 silver.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 silver each.
Depends if each of you wants a drink. Yeah.
Yeah, Conrad definitely wanted one. Okay, so 6 silver.
Yeah, 6 silver. Luther, what about you?
I will order. We're pretty close to the north right now, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they got vodka.
Yes, of course they have vodka. Sure.
I'm gonna buy a whole damn bottle.
In that case, you pay 2 silver for that.
That's fine.
Okay. You have a bottle of aquavit or vodka, as it's called. Okay. So what? You sit at the common table and probably plan what to do next.
Yep.
And let's end this for today because Michael needs to go in a few, and I want to give you points.
Sure.
Okay, Michael, do I understand correctly that next time you'll be able to play normally?
Yeah, next time won't be an issue. They offered too good of a deal this time, and we also have to get this lab set up.
No worries, sure thing. Okay, so first of all, points. 60 points for everyone for today. 10 points for your characters. Places of birth: Cadvale, Aphel Loren, or Crazy Forest, whatever you want to call it.
I said I have to sing a song about my pilgrimage when I go back.
Yeah, very nice. That was cool. 10 points. Conrad, Ostland. I've actually tried to nudge you towards the province a bit. Remember, I told you that Northern Province, stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't really seize upon it too much this time.
Okay. No worries. Luther, Stirland.
I was a dick to the halfling because he didn't recognize my accent.
Yeah, and you told about the good fertile lands of Stirland. 10 points for you. Religion, Cadvale, 10 points. You were saying very nice. You've intertwined Isha with your dialogue very nicely when you asked Stefan if his wife, could see Don. That was very cool. Conrad and Luther, 10 points each for the discussion about Carl.
All right.
Carl, Sigmar, Tau, all of this, very cool. Star signs, Cadvale, what about you?
Courageous, doomed. I said
10 points.
A song of vengeance.
I will give you 10 points. Not because of that. I mean, because of that as well. But you went alone to set traps and scout the location for the traps.
I honestly didn't even think about it.
I know, and that's why I'm giving you points, because that was a very nice, that was a very nice thing. Conrad, what about you?
I'm the twin bullocks, whatever. I don't know that I did anything particularly skilled or what did I do this time? No, I'm not feeling it for star sign this time. I feel like I didn't really.
You didn't do anything skilled like when discussing stuff with Stefan or things like that?
Well, I mean, unless you want to talk about the strategy and tactics part.
Yeah,
coming
that's
up with that.
yeah, that's good. I think strategy and tactics was good. Discussing, planning your journey, stuff like that. So I'll give you 10 points for that. I think you should definitely get it. Luther, star sign.
Pride, arrogance, and conceit.
10 points. Yeah, sure. No.
It just comes naturally.
Yeah, it comes naturally. I hope that you're not like this IRL. Not just kidding.
Hell no.
I know that you're not, just kidding. Sorry.
I'm the most humble person I know.
I'm not that humble, but yeah.
Dooms, Cadvale.
The absence makes the heart grow weaker. I said I was going to leave the party and go home.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sad.
That was cool. And you did mourn Ahmed a lot. I was actually wondering if you try and strike Serov.
No, I think it felt too defeated. I mean, like, even if I wanted to.
Yeah. 10 points. That was very cool. Conrad?
The flashing blade shall carve thy end or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the flashing blade shall carve thy end. Yeah, I didn't get it in there.
Yeah, that was tricky today. True that. Although you could have said something when they've brought you from the dungeon at the beginning, but I know that it's not always easy. Okay, Luther, you get 10 points for when I said about the roof.
Yeah,
All right.
That was very cool.
Good.
Cadvale, 5 points for the elf. Ideas that push the scenario forward. Luther, you get 5 points for the meat.
Right.
That was neat idea. Neat idea. I can't stop with the puns today. And I'm also thinking about something else.
Do I get points for convincing for having the well, we have to find out if he's really a vampire or if he's Sigmar Reborn? Or does that not work?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I guess that probably Luther would follow you, but since you are putting it like that, and you did this very nice cool speech, which would probably convince a character like Luther, I will give you 5 points for that. Sure thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well, I just
very
figured because
cool.
we were at that point where it was like, oh, we could continue or we could all just go our separate ways.
Yes, of course. It's at this point that you can end the campaign right now.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. So that's the points. And what you finished notes today, Conrad, right?
Yeah.
So 30 points for you as well for the notes. Next time, Luther, Michael starts the notes, first notes.
Cool.
Okay, so 7th of February.
Yep.
Yeah, should be okay.
Bran?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, there is going to be the Facebook message thingy, but okay. 7th of February, standard time. I'll see you guys out there. Thanks for the game. See you later.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.